Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Koob.
I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up today. You know what, Reid? You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest.
To paraphrase the Rolling Stones, I'm completely satisfied. Slow me down. Color it green. Hope you're having a great Friday afternoon, everybody, despite the grotesque snow that we're experiencing in the Edmonton region. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Going into the weekend, Battle of Alberta tomorrow at Rogers Place. It's a significant game. It is a significant game. Could be even more significant depending on the outcome of another game that's being played tonight, which we will talk about over the course of the afternoon. We are with you until 6 o'clock. Yes, 8 o'clock game tomorrow at Rogers Place. We will have coverage at 7 with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, and then they will jump on after the game as well, just like they did last night after the Oilers were thumped 6-1 by the Tentacles in Seattle. Jay, how are you doing, buddy?
I am tickled pink. I love this weather. The snow is delightful. I wish we could have snow for 10 more days.
No, okay. Sure you do.
What?
It's grotesque.
It's awful.
It's
too much.
It's soul-sucking.
We get it.
It throws us, it puts me into a morass of self-loathing.
Morass?
Yeah, that's a word. Doesn't it mean like, I'm going to look it up. I hope I used it correctly. That would have been a good word of the day. A morass, an area of muddy or boggy ground, a complicated or confused situation.
There you go. Nailed it.
It puts me into a morass of self-loathing.
I went outside to get lunch earlier, and I almost blinded myself. It's so white.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. It was hard on the eyes.
Well, at least it was sunny, I guess.
It was not. It's overcast.
Oh, okay. It's just so much white snow.
Just too much white.
It's too much. Well, it is gross. And we're going to dive right into our off-topic topic today. So, a few things. We got plenty of Oilers and Flames talk. We got plenty of Oilers discussion. I am going to go down a very... I don't know. I'm going to go down a somewhat pessimistic path, but it is a path that is visible. It's a little overgrown, but it's not completely overgrown and sealed off and inaccessible. It is a path the Oilers could find themselves stumbling down. So we have to explore it. We'll do that as we move along today. Our buddy Pat Steinberg from Sportsnet 960 in Calgary will jump on the show. You know what a question I have for him is?
What?
Is this Flames season going to be considered a success even if they miss the playoffs?
Great question.
Because they were supposed to finish bottom 5, bottom 6 in the league, and they're still in it. Their odds aren't great necessarily, but they win tomorrow, and the Oilers keep stumbling. Who knows? But I want to ask them, because two things for the Flames. Is this season a success? And in his mind, what's the individual award we talk about in Edmonton? Leon Draisaitl Hart Trophy. And up against really McKinnon and Hellebuck. So in those markets, it's Hart Trophy. I mean, if other teams, I don't think can put forward a serious Hart Trophy contender. But in Calgary, they can put forward a serious Calder Trophy contender for Rookie of the Year, the goaltender. So I want to get Pat's perspective on that. He's going to join us in about 12 or 13 minutes. And we are giving away actually in a few minutes.
Yes.
And maybe if we feel generous, we'll do it later on in the show as well. But courtesy William Huff, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to the Oil Kings' first playoff home game. It's on Tuesday, right? Against PA. Now, the series starts tonight in PA. It's back here in Edmonton for game 3 on Tuesday. So we're going to have tickets to give away, which is pretty cool. You'll have to answer a trivia question. And you'll have to text in the answer to the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, $99.99. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. But we also have our off-topic topic, and I got to hand it to Jay Milne, because Jay he gets these thoughtful phases. So we're in the bullpen, we sit across the table from each other, and Jay has one of those chairs he kind of like, I can't lean back on this one. You can lean back quite far on yours. We'll be typing or working away, or listening to some early 1980s rock or something like that. And then Jay will kind of lean back in his chair and sort of bounce a little bit, and then he sort of looks at me, and then looks skyward and leans back in his chair a little more. And I've now come to know that means he's having a thought. That means the neurons are firing in the brain. It's like, hey, Myrtle, looks like Jay's in his thinking chair, So he goes to me, Reid. And I had an off-topic idea. That was okay, and it's one we've talked about before and put in the memory bank, and so maybe we pull this one out some other day. And Jay says, Reid. He's got that thinking voice, Reid. And I was like, yes, Jay. Should we do a snow-related off-topic topic? And I was like, okay, let's think of one. So we thought of one. And speaking of William Huff, they're helping us give away Oil Kings tickets today as well. And they also have provided, since the debut of the Reid Wilkins Show, the off-topic topic, since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. Here's the off-topic topic. How does your pet feel about the snow? And if you would like, send in a picture of your dog, probably a dog, cat, of your pet enjoying or hating the snow. Okay? How does your pet feel about the snow? Perhaps especially since it appeared the snow was all gone and your pet's probably getting into summer mode, and now your pet is going outside last night, this morning. Is your pet like, hey, snow, this is great? Or is your pet like, I can't believe it. What is this?
Well, Gager told us a story about his dog and how happy he was to pretty much have the dog park to himself with about a foot of snow. Dogs love playing in the snow. Some do. I know you were saying that you had a dog that did not.
So I had a dog named Chupka, which means little sweetheart in Ukrainian.
Beautiful.
And she did not like being cold, and she did not like the snow. And when it was really cold, she'd wear snow boots. And she would look like she was stamping her feet in anger when she walked. Because you know how when they have the boots on, they walk a little bit differently, or sometimes when they're first on, they almost look like they're trying to shake them off. So when she would go out in the cold with the snow boots, she had a bit of an angry walk, and she would go out and perform her toilet, and then would immediately want to go back to the house. It's like, no, we got to finish the walk. And then if there's another dog, Rocket, that we still have that would walk. It's like, well, we got to complete the walk. And she would be very pokey and would sort of stop and like sort of just like lean, like position herself like a quarter of the way around. Like she wouldn't turn all the way back to the house, but she'd sort of spin her shoulder towards you and give this look back. Like, you realize the house is back that way and it's cold and we're going away from the house. And be like, oh, Chewy, we got to keep going. And then she knew the exact halfway point of the walk, because when we would hit it, then it was enthusiastic walking. Like now she knew, okay, now it's the home stretch.
Wow.
I couldn't get them to turn around to take me home early, but now I can make sure we get back very quickly. So she did not enjoy the cold. I guess maybe mild cold and a little bit of snow, she might toss it around with her nose a little bit for fun. But she probably wouldn't have liked this day, because there would have been some nicer weather days, and now we're stuck with this.
I think this is the glory days for a dog, because it's not cold, but you could still go outside and enjoy the snow. Now, Koob, I did send you a couple pics. We'll get those up whenever, not right now. But Cooper, the corgi, is just loving life.
Is he really?
Yeah, the snow almost comes up to his back.
Yeah, but his belly and his parts would be all in the cold.
Oh, the parts are fine. The parts are welcoming the cold weather. That's what Gager's dog did, right? Your dog just went and laid down in the snow this morning. Hey, yeah, dogs they run hot. They need that.
So that is the off-topic topic. How does your pet, I mean, this is probably going to be a dog, but it could be a cat, could be a ferret, could be an iguana, could be a goldfish. Goldfish probably wouldn't like the snow very much. My takes for I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Oh, Big Uke sent in a picture.
Already.
Well,
we're going to have to compile these and maybe get to them maybe for Fired Up around 5:20 or something like that.
Fired Up. I love dogs.
Yeah, we'll compile your pet pictures and put up as many as we can in the final hour of the show. Your pet interacting with the snow, I guess, is what we were looking for. So you can email them, Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, or text them to the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. If you're tuning in on the audio stream through iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or through our website, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, thank you. Remember to favorite or like the station or, save it as a preference, whatever the options are on each particular app. You can follow us on Twitter at YEG Sports Talk. I am at Reid Wilkins, REID, Wilkins like Dominique. Jay is at Jason Milne, MILNE. And if you're on YouTube and also enjoying the video element of the show, you can help us out there as well. First of all, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then give us the thumbs up as well as we endeavor to fly past 100 quickly. And then from there, we build towards double word of the day territory, which we got to yesterday. But let's not delay. Don't be a pleasure delayer. Don't make us wait. Get in there and click away. All right. Well, we should do. We'll do all the Oilers stuff with the Oil Understood.
Yeah.
And you can mock me for how I spent the entirety of my evening later on.
Oh, I will.
Because we do also have for William Huff a contest here. Oh, did you want to put Corgi up Koob now or later?
Yeah, sure. Throw him up there.
We can have Koob up
As soon as
if you're on YouTube. This is Cooper the Corgi, Jay's dog, and one of probably my closest friend in the entire Milne family.
I think so. Yeah, he loves Reid. Cooper was happy. He's excited to be out in the snow, but he's a little dog. His arms are as long as my finger.
Corgis are low to the ground.
Low bodies. So he had a big old nap after. So he's now spending the rest of the day chilling out, napping.
Oh, nice.
He's good. A fun fact for you. I've never walked a dog.
Like on a leash?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I have.
I've never have.
Because you're a farm kid.
Well, I've never had a dog in a city situation where, our dogs, they just go outside. Right?
Right.
If they're trained enough or
of course.
They know the perimeter and they know where to go and where they can't. Yeah, and no dog walks.
Interesting. They just go do it.
Yeah, they literally do.
That was a great picture, Coop. He was almost fully submerged in the snow. He was like a periscope sticking up out of the snow.
He looked like an army dog. Like he was out on the battlefield.
So let's give away a pair of tickets to the Oil Kings playoff home game on Tuesday night against Prince Albert. You must text your answers to 780-218-9999. First right answer. Jay will keep an eye on it. So the Oil Kings won the Western Hockey League and the Memorial Cup in the 13-14 season. So in the spring of 2014 was when they took it all. The primary goalie was Tristan Jarry. They did have a goaltender who I think had one appearance. This is not him. Who was the Oil Kings' backup goalie in 2013-2014? He didn't play a lot. So we'll tell you there was Patrick Day played one game. It's not him. So who was the true backup to Tristan Jarry in 13-14? You must text it in to 780-218-9999. First right answer. Did somebody win already?
No. But Not Fred says, good luck to the St. Albert Junior C Comets in Calgary for provincials this weekend. They had a 30-2 record in league and playoffs so far.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that time of year, I guess, when a lot of
good luck, Comets.
Youth or minor sports teams would be having their provincials, or would some be done already?
Some are done.
Yeah.
But I think for the older kids, it's probably, it's go time.
What are they called? This St. Albert, did he say?
St. Albert Comets.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we wish them well.
Junior C.
Oh, Junior C. Okay. Perfect. You can send limericks as well to 780-218-9999. I already got a limerick from Bronco Nick. We'll get to that a little bit later. All right. We better take a break because Pat Steinberg has his own show coming up on Sportsnet 960. First, we got the Koob with a sports update.
The playoff race continues in the NHL, having 6 games around the league. Columbus hosts Vancouver. The Canadiens battle the Hurricanes, while the Panthers and Hockey Club go toe-to-toe. And from Prince Albert, the Oil Kings and the Raiders have a date with 8 games in WHL playoffs. Elsewhere, Brandon visits Lethbridge. Tri-City faces Victoria, and the Blades meet the Hitmen. In college football, head coach Deion Sanders gets the bag, signing a 5-year, $54 million extension with Colorado. And 7 games dot the NBA schedule. Toronto tips off against Charlotte. LaMelo Ball being ruled out for the remainder of the season for the Hornets to undergo 2 separate procedures to address some lingering ankle and wrist issues. Later, the Jazz and Nuggets duke it out, while the Knicks and Bucks square up. And March Madness has 4 games, including 6-seed Ole Miss and 2nd-seed Michigan State throwing it down. It's a Jays and Orioles rematch in Toronto. 8 other games in the MLB. Colorado leads Tampa Bay 2-0 at the bottom of the 5th before the Mets clash with the Astros. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or call them at 780-467-5014. We have a brief intermission before Pat Steinberg from Sportsnet 960 joins Reid Wilkins and Jay Milne. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
www.hot-dog.org. Do's and don'ts. Don't send a thank you note following a hot dog barbecue. It will not be keeping with the unpretentious nature of hot dogs. Don't bring wine to a hot dog barbecue. It's beer, soda, lemonade, and iced tea being preferable. And don't ever think there's a wrong time to serve hot dogs.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
UFC 314 goes down at the Canadian Brewhouse on April 12th. Watch every knockout on the most TVs with epic food and drinks in the best atmosphere. Don't miss the action. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Jay's playing the keyboards. The synth, is that a synthesizer?
It's a synth, baby.
Is the TV working?
Matthew
wanted. Well, so what happened on the ESTV where we logged out of the? See, this is what I was talking about the other day. You can't just have a TV and a clicker and you click it on and you turn the channels up and down. Now you got to go to an app. Now you got to select what you want, and then maybe it's not streaming, or maybe you get a little loading notice. This is not an improvement in technology.
Yeah.
Give me the giant clicker, or I'll get up and change the channel myself with the dial.
Oh, now I got to re-sign in.
Yeah, see, why do we have to sign in to watch a television? We have cable. That's how you sign in. You get a cable box. Oh my God. Now we got to that's a funny code. It gives you the random letters. Ours is IGCAX. IGKAX. I believe that's an animal that roams the plains of northern Africa. The IGCAX. The IGCAX in its natural climate is quite a docile animal, except when faced with trying to tune its televisions. Then the IGCAX can become aggressive and chase away even the fiercest of predators.
The IGCAX. I love it.
It's a nasty animal. All right, Battle of Alberta. Final one of the season tomorrow, unless the Oilers and Flames meet in the playoffs, which is highly unlikely. I don't even know if that's mathematically possible at this point. But to discuss that and who knows what else, one of the most glorious people I have ever met in my life from Sportsnet 960 in Calgary, host of the Flames broadcast, it's Pat Steinberg. Hey, Pat, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing? Did he hang up on us, Koob? He may have been like, I already know everything I need to know about the IGCAX. I don't need to tune into the show. Do we have I know you're trying to navigate the television. Do we have a trivia winner? Who was the Oil Kings' backup goaltender in the 2014 Memorial Cup run? I gave you the answer earlier, didn't I? Yeah.
Did. We do.
Okay, who got it?
Hang on.
This is for for a pair of tickets to the Oil Kings playoff game on Tuesday, game 3 of their series against Prince Albert at Rogers Place.
Pizza Boy.
Pizza Boy knew that it was Tyler Santos. Now, if you're despondent, deflated that you didn't win the tickets, don't despair. Don't get into a morass of despair. We'll give away another pair of tickets. And maybe, we'll give away another pair of tickets later on the show. Sound good? So you got to keep listening for that. Do we have Mr. Steinberg?
We should be.
Who
good.
I gave that glowing intro to, and then he wasn't connected or something happened. Pat, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing? Well, we're off and running on a Friday afternoon. I'm so excited to have Pat on the show. At least the TV's working. I guess we can't have the phone and the TV at the same time. It's one or the other.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's an either or. No, I'm not blaming you. It just appears that's our situation. AB in the nasty chat says, I agree. All the TV input changes and sign into this and the QR codes just to watch TV are a pain in the rump. I would agree with that. I liked it when you just turned on the TV, found your channel, and away you went. And now it's like, is this on Disney Plus? Is this on, Pilsner Plus or whatever? Is there a Pilsner streaming app? There should be. Are we going to try Pat one more time?
Third time's the charm.
Pat Steinberg, I love you. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
We have you.
Me. Yeah.
It's Reid Wilkins and Jason Milne.
Oh, I was singing REO Speedwagon to you, trying to match the adoration. I was singing Take It on the Run, trying to seduce you from afar, and you missed it all. I don't know. I was very, very touched by the African wilderness. You missed a lot, and I'll never sing that again.
Well, if Can't Fight This Feeling might have been a more appropriate song. But anyway, Take It on the Run's a classic. How you doing, buddy? Are you getting this gross snow in Calgary, or is it better weather there?
It's a little better. We do have a little bit of snow, but we're not getting absolutely pounded like you guys are. It actually, my plan is to pop in the old vehicle. Eric Francis and I were planning on coming up tomorrow morning for the old Battle of Alberta. But if it's going to be too gross on the old QE2, we may just not come. But we'll see if Mother Nature gives Northern Alberta a little bit of a refrain from the snow, then you'll definitely be seeing me tomorrow. But we're okay. We're a little gloomy down here. It's like Vancouver weather with a little snow on the ground down here.
All right, yeah. Quinn Phillips just put in our chat in all caps, "It will not stop. This is crazy." So yeah, it's kind of pretty gross here. All right, so let's dive into the hockey stuff. I know you're busy today. I'll start here. I think the odds of the Flames making the playoffs are quite slim at this point, though not impossible. But let's say they kind of stay where they are. They finish 9th or 10th. They're single digits out of the playoff spot by the end of the year. Is that, in an odd way, a somewhat successful season, given that a lot of people who do preseason predictions had this team probably 26th or worse in the preseason predictions?
Well, it depends on who you ask, and I say that not as a way to skirt the question at all, but there's kind of a split down here amongst Flames fans. So you've got the group that is just really enjoying a team that is exceeding expectations and is playing really gutsy hockey and is finding ways to win games, and they've been doing that for a good chunk of this season. And prior to last night's loss to Dallas, they had done it in 3 consecutive games with comebacks. And so, this has been a team that I think a lot of people are like, boy, we did not expect this at all. So really enjoying this run, this competitiveness, and maybe a playoff position when it's all said and done. But the thing that continues to hang over this season in particular, guys, is the fact that there's still a trade condition that is still connected to the Sean Monahan trade from the summer of 2022. And so in this market, that has been a consideration all year long, both internally for the Flames, I know it has been, but it's, I think, way more of a consideration on the external side of things for fans. And so that condition is essentially, when the Flames made that trade with Montreal to send Sean Monahan to the Habs, they sent him with a first-round pick to the Habs, which allowed them to open up the cap space to then sign Nazem Kadri. And so when they did that, that first-round pick had just myriad conditions attached to it. But what it's come down to is now this year, in the spring of 2025, if the Flames finish in the bottom 10 of the NHL standings and thus end up being a top 10 pick in the draft, they keep their pick and they transfer another pick, which just happens to be Florida's first round pick from the Matthew Tkachuk trade. They send that to Montreal. However, it's only top 10 protected. So if the Flames are outside of the top 10, they then transfer their pick to Montreal and retain Florida's pick. So that's been something that's kind of been hanging over this season all year. Is that best for the organization for where they're going? Is giving up their pick, which will almost certainly be higher in the draft order than Florida's, is that best for the group? And so I think for a lot of people, if they just miss the playoffs and lose their pick, which seems like it could very well be a possibility when it's all said and done, I think there will be some people who will say, no, the season's not a success. From my standpoint, I think this year has been a success, period. And it's understanding all of the other things on the outside. But to have exceeded expectations because of the play of your 23-year-old franchise goaltender, Dustin Wolf, first and foremost, I think that makes this season a success. To have had this season with great contributions from other young players that you hope to be huge parts of your team going forward, led by Matt Coronado, that is a success. And I also think for a team that had talked all summer and all training camp about how they want to reset the culture, reset the identity of what this team is, I think that they've done a really good job of doing that as well. So I think personally, even if they miss, you can deem this a pretty successful season for the Flames. But I do acknowledge that there is a certain sect of fans that will not hold that opinion this year because of the draft pick consideration.
Pat Steinberg joining us from Sportsnet 960. Pat, you got Jay here. Up here, we obviously are very close with this team. We talk about it all day, every day. So we, get to hear what Oilers fans moan about most about the Oilers. It's been goaltending, it's been defense, lack of secondary scoring. I'm wondering in Calgary, because I don't think you can really argue or moan about the goaltending. But what is it that fires, and what is it that the Flames fans bitch most about down in Calgary?
Well, there's a few things. Their lack of scoring has been a big one. And, this has been not only a team that has, been offensively challenged, they've been supremely offensively challenged. They'll enter the Battle of Alberta a little higher than they had been in the overall offense, but not overly. For about a 3-4 week span in February and this month, they were 32nd of 32 in terms of offense. They're up to 31 now at 2.61 goals per game. But like when you're behind San Jose and Anaheim and Chicago in offense, that's not necessarily speaking really, really well to a successful season. So I think the lack of offense has been one thing. The pending decision coming for Rasmus Andersson is one of them, because he's having a rough season. He's hovering around minus 30, and I'm loath to talk about plus minus. I think it's a dumb stat, but I know that's one that a lot of fans have brought up. I mean, you got this guy that could be wanting 8 by 8.5 in a new contract, and he's sitting around minus 30, and his play has been wildly inconsistent this year, and so that's been a gripe. And maybe more than anything, Jay, the biggest thing that we're talking about kind of goes back to the first topic we discussed. But there's a lot of people in this market who are tired of the Flames being in what we call down here the mushy middle, right? Like where they're the Minnesota Wild, right? Like they're not good enough to win a Stanley Cup, but they're not bad enough to draft super high end talent in the draft because they're not finishing low enough to get there. Now, I get that, and I understand that, and generally I agree with this. That this team has for too long been mired in that middle and been mired in that mediocrity, where maybe they sneak in, maybe they don't. Once every few years, they have a really good season, but they don't really follow it up with a good season the next year. And the last good season the Flames had was ended by number 97 in your city in overtime of Game 5 of a second round series. It's the last good season this team has had prior to this one, which obviously isn't as good, but what makes it so that I don't think is quite the same thing is the fact that under Craig Conroy, and especially starting this season, like the goal has been to get younger and build for a bigger picture down the road, build for something in 3 to 5 years, as opposed to what had been the norm in this city for so long, and that is always focused on right now. Always, we've got to do everything we can to get into the playoffs. We've got to trade picks. We've got to make moves. We've got to plug holes, and it's all about getting into the playoffs and a chip in a chair and see where you go. Well, this year, if they make the playoffs, they want to make it. Like, they're not going to try to not make it, but they didn't do anything at the trade deadline. They made one trade in late January, but that was a trade that wasn't just about this season. It was as much, if not more, for the long term. That's kind of the difference, is that they're exceeding expectations and they're overachieving in many minds and all of those things. But the eye on the prize and the eye on the big picture is still the priority. So I get that this does look like a year where it could very well be categorized as mushy middle again, but I don't think it's the same process that's leading them there. So that would probably be the number one gripe that we're hearing down here. Interesting.
Okay, Pat, one more for you. I know you got to go soon. But here in Edmonton, the trophy we talk most about besides the Stanley Cup is the Hart Trophy, because Leon's in there, Hellebuck's in there, McKinnon's in there. I think those would be the main three guys in the discussion. Is Dustin Wolf, and I don't know if you vote or not, I don't vote on the awards, is Dustin Wolf the Calder Trophy in your winner, or how is that race? How do you handicap that race?
I also don't vote. I also am not a Professional Hockey Writers Association member, so I don't get a vote myself either. If I did, though, I've made the case down here, and obviously it's Calgary market, Calgary program, so that definitely plays into it. But my point has been that Dustin Wolf would be at the top of my Calder ballot if I had one, because of not just how well he's played and, what he's done in elevating the Flames to being on the kind of outside of playoff contention, or on the cusp rather of making the playoffs. Like it's not just that, and that's huge. And I know there's a lot of people who believe that if the Flames do get in, Wolf should be the Calder winner. I don't think, to me, that's not what it's about. It's who's the best rookie. Well, to me, the reason why Dustin Wolf has been the best rookie, with no disrespect to Macklin Celebrini and certainly no disrespect to Lane Hudson, who is, really helped elevate Montreal to where they are in the Eastern Conference. But Dustin Wolf's metrics, whether you talk to the folks at Clearsight Analytics and use their adjusted save percentage metric, or you go over to Natural Stat Trick and take a look at their high danger save percentage and their 5-on-5 save percentage, or you go over to Money Puck and look at their goals saved above expected, or you go to Evolving Hockey and look at his wins and standing points above replacement. In all of these metrics, Dustin Wolf is in the same category as the best goaltenders in the NHL, and some best goaltenders this season, like in the case of Philip Gustafsson and Logan Thompson and guys like that. But also, he is right there, sometimes ahead, or at the very least in the very similar ballpark of names like Connor Hellebuck and Andrei Vasilevsky and like the cream of the crop in this league. And as good as Hudson has been, can you say that he is in the same category right now as Cale Makar, or I know Haskins injured, but Miro Haskinen or Quinn Hughes? Or can you say that Macklin Celebrini is in the same conversation of Leon and Connor and McKinnon and stuff like that? And you can't at this point. Whereas with Wolf, we're comparing him to Vasilevsky and Hellebuck and those types of names. And that's why I think if I had a ballot, I'd have him 1, I'd have Hudson 2, and I'd have Celebrini 3. But I just checked at Bet365 today, and I apologize if that's messing with any betting sponsorships, so I'll say it again. I checked with a betting site today, and I didn't catch myself in time. I checked with the betting site that I use today, and I saw plus 4,000 for Dustin Wolf as the Calder Trophy winner, and it's minus odds for Celebrini, and it's like low plus odds for Hudson, and plus 4,000 for Dustin Wolf, which just seems crazy to me when you think about how close I think it'd be. Like, I don't think it'll be an injustice if Celebrini or Hudson wins the Calder Trophy. By no means. I think it's very close between the three. This won't be Jerome McGinley getting robbed of the Hart Trophy in the early 2000s. Instead, I just think, who's the best rookie? I think of what each guy's doing at their respective position, and I think it's Wolf. But I think it's close. But I honestly, if you're seeing plus 4,000 and numbers like that at other bookmakers, I would be surprised if he wins it based on that. But I think I made a pretty good case for why he should.
Pat, I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from another. You got a really good show coming up this afternoon. Thank you for being so generous with your time. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Always love having you on, buddy.
Great to talk to you, boys. Be well, hey.
Pat Steinberg from Sportsnet 960 in Calgary. I love doing the show, as I think most of you know. And what I've enjoyed now working with Jay is that he gets to experience all the guests that I've been having on for years and get to be like, oh, wow, that guy's good. I know we've had Pat on before. He's good. He's great.
He's amazing.
And he loves me. Like,
yeah, you can tell.
You can tell he loves me. You can tell he loves me. He wouldn't have referenced that many fancy stats if he didn't love me.
Yeah, no, he's got a point. I mean, with the goaltending in Calgary, you look back over the years, Calgary's had some pretty darn good goaltending. Say for the last 5-7 years. Much better than the Oilers, much more consistent, surely.
Yeah.
So good on them for finding players like Dustin Wolf.
I think Wolf is were you here when we were talking about a Hart Trophy last week, or was that one of the days you were off?
No, I don't believe so.
Because I was referencing the Iginla beating out Theodore beating out Iginla.
Oh no, I was here for that.
About goalies winning it.
Yes, goalies.
So yeah, I'm a somewhat reluctant to have a goalie win the Hart unless it's like a historic season. But I would be more likely to vote for a really good goalie for the Calder because it's a harder position to me to play when you're a rookie.
At a rookie, yeah.
And again, and Celebrini's very good, but in my mind, it's Hudson or Wolf, and I would probably lean towards Wolf. And if Calgary, they probably won't, but if Calgary made the playoffs, then I would be like, you can't even think about anybody other than Wolf. But anyway, it'll be a fun one tomorrow at Rogers Place. Will the Oilers have a full lineup, a healthy lineup? Well, I doubt it. They didn't practice today, but obviously we don't expect McDavid back tomorrow. Maybe Draisaitl. Ekholm, I guess. Remember when I said, is he going to practice at all? Well, now we're in the neighborhood of, is this load management with Ekholm? to use the basketball term that popped up a few years ago. It might be.
Would you be upset if it was?
If they kept losing, that would be upsetting.
There is a rub here for sure. This is, what is it? 10 games left.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it. I know you've got a lot to say, Riedrich.
I have some things to say.
You do?
That I've been thinking about. We have the ESTV is fired up. So we have women's NCAA tournament on. Maryland leading South Carolina 32-31. Very late. Or do they still play quarters in women's basketball?
Yes.
I didn't know. They still do 410s?
Yes.
I didn't even know that. They don't do the 220s?
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It screws you up when you're flipping back from men's to women's.
Right. Because
this game's almost over.
Yeah.
It's almost just halftime.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay. Anyway, this is the number 4 against the number 1. So they just are going regional 1, 2, 3, and 4. They don't break them up by geography anymore. I didn't know that they changed that. All right, we're going to have the Oil Understood coming up for GCL Diesel. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can participate, talk with each other and with us in the Nasty Chat, and remember to hit that thumbs up.
We're at a good pace.
Let's at least get to 100. I mean, we should be able to get to 130 by 4 o'clock. Just get in there and click the thumbs up. Quinn Phillips, you know what you need to do. Click the thumbs up.
Put it on her.
Put it
you
all
know,
on.
Quinn.
Quinn, lead the thumb charge, damn it. What are you doing? Quit sitting on your thumb and put it in the thing on the YouTube.
Yeah. Send it all to
That's really clear for everybody.
Edmonton.
What's he talking about? Put it in the thing on you. Some people are probably putting their thumbprints on the screen. Is it a touch screen?
That's a touch.
Click the little thumbs up button. Here comes the Koob.
Brad Marchand is expected to make his Panthers debut when Florida battles Utah. And 5 other games around the NHL has Winnipeg hosting New Jersey, the Canucks and Blue Jackets facing off before Vegas visits Chicago. And Game 1 of the Oil Kings Raiders series goes down from Prince Albert on a night with 7 WHL playoff games, including the Winterhawks and Cougars butting heads before the Giants clash with the Chiefs. Toronto takes on Charlotte with Hornets star LaMelo Ball missing the rest of the season to undergo 2 minor procedures to fix his lingering ankle and wrist injuries. Ball has averaged over 25 points per game this season, playing nearly 33 minutes a game. And at halftime, 4th seed Maryland leads top seed South Carolina 33-31 in women's March Madness action. In baseball, the Jays look to redeem a 12-2 loss from last night to the Orioles when they rematch today. Right now, it's the Rays trailing the Rockies 2-0 at the bottom of the 7th. And at the Houston Open, Canadian Taylor Pendrith holds 2nd place at 10 under with play suspended in round 2. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Join them at the Home and Garden Show at the Expo Center this weekend to see their new and exciting products and for a chance to win a free floor, or visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week. You can also buy online at ParamountFlooring.ca. The Oil Understood for GCL Diesel brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit GalloLLP.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? horses, chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Hope you are surviving the grotesque snowfall that we're getting in the city of Edmonton and area. Man, oh man, like it was ugly driving in this morning. I don't know, my car's going to be covered. We need to build a little garage here.
Little lean-to?
Well, just for our cars.
Just for us.
Yeah.
We'll have to let Koob
We come in the morning. Hey, who's in my stall? There aren't stalls, Reid. Yeah, the covered one is mine and Jay's.
Just a little Quonset
Matthew,
from...
get it out of there. I'm getting Matthew towed. Waddick's like, where's my car? Oh, was that yours, Matt? I didn't realize somebody was in our stall. We got it towed.
Little Quonset tent from Canadian Tire. Just set it up in each stall.
Okay, we're having a great afternoon. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. So our off-topic topic, and we're compiling these, and we will put some up later so people can see them on YouTube. The off-topic topic is, how does your pet deal with the snow? Do they like it or not like it? I had a dog. Seems most animals don't mind the snow. I had a dog that did, but she more didn't like the cold, but somewhat the snow. And send in your you're getting pictures, eh, Jay?
Yeah, I actually just
snowy pets.
In the break, I posted a bunch of them up on our Instagram page. That was a recommendation from Taco. He says, boys, share these pictures on your Instagram page. Might as well get some interaction with your listeners. Taco, that's a great idea. I took you right up on it. They're up on our Instagram page. Edmonton Sports Talk.
I'm going to look later. I don't want to look now. We'll get too distracted by the cute pets. Keep hitting that thumbs up on YouTube. So here's the thing. Our very, very minimum goal is 100, but really we're looking for 130 thumbs for a word of the day, and then 155 for a double word of the day.
Let's go, girls.
There it is.
There it is. Game tomorrow at Rogers Place. Oilers hosting the Flames. It's at 8 o'clock. We will have coverage at 7 with the Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom and Hernan. Jay and I and the Koob camped out in the Canadian Brew House studio. Don't forget about the flavor of the month, the wing throwdown at the Canadian Brew House. Fuego Verde versus Honey Blaze. Who's taking the crown? Hit up the Canadian Brew House for wing night. Our house is your house. So last night, the Oilers go into Seattle, had their 9-game winning streak against the Kraken snapped. We found out shortly before the game that Matthias Ekholm wasn't going to play, already with Draisaitl and McDavid out of action, and Calvin Pickard in net, though he would have started anyway, but he got replaced after 2 periods. And Olivier Rodrigue made his NHL debut, made a couple of nice saves, looked fairly comfortable in there. I mean, the goalie got scored on, like McCann whacking that out of the air. That was an incredible play. As we bring you the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood.
That was good.
The people new to the show must be like, did the guy faint? Especially if you're on the audio stream.
Yeah. Did the stream cut out?
What just happened? Did I accidentally mute this station? All right.
By the way, I've told you this before, but Cam loves that. Cam is the big dog over at GCL Diesel. He's a big time listener, loves the show. He loves the dramatic pause for the oil understood.
It ain't going anywhere, so I'm glad he loves it. I'm glad he loves it. All right. So I want to hit on a couple of things because I know they were talked about last night on the post-game show with Tom and Hernan, and Matt Cassian was in last night. And this always comes up when when it's spiraling out of control for a team. Why didn't the coach call a timeout? Now, I kind of said that in a mocking tone. It is a good question. I don't know if a timeout would have helped the Oilers last night in that period. I generally don't start thinking about a timeout when a thing is going poorly. I kind of just more see, well, how are they going to react? I mean, and timeouts in hockey are quite quick, and you're not going to start drawing up plays that are, it's not like basketball. Oh, let's do this. I would say if Knobloch was going to use a timeout, it probably would have been after the third goal. I mean, when it's 2-0, with that much time left,
I think after the fifth goal. The fourth goal. Because, it's 2-0. There's still, this is anybody's game. That third goal happens, but the fourth goal happens so fast right after it.
Well, when was the disallowed goal? Was that the original fourth goal or the original fifth? I can't even remember now. It was pretty bad.
Seconds after Nyman scored.
Right. Yeah, I mean, maybe, I guess I would think about it as at 3-0, especially given what happened the previous night against Dallas. Now, I do think we're splitting hairs a little bit.
Sure, we are. We absolutely are.
And then once it's 4-0, then are you probably thinking, well, this one's over, so I'm not sure a timeout's going to make
Well, then
a
it's
difference.
too late. What good is that? Just let's get out of this period.
But I think it's a fair discussion. I know. I feel like in the Dave Tippett era, for some reason, that used to come up a lot. I mean, I'm trying to think of times when the Oilers have taken over a game, how often the other coaches call a timeout. I feel like it's not that often. And coaches do look at, okay, when's the TV timeout? Can we survive 90 seconds until the next whistle, and then it's a TV timeout, which is a lot longer than a regular timeout. So, fair question. I don't know if it would have saved the Oilers' bacon last night. Like if it was scoreless and then Seattle scores twice early in the third period, then at 2-0, I'd be like, you got to use a timeout, right? You got to reset down right now. But I don't know. Do you think about the timeouts when you watch?
Absolutely do. Yeah. Because just take pause, timeout.
Right.
Literally, timeout. Let's stop the bleeding. Let's cauterize this a little bit on the bench and talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? Just take your mind, because at that point when they're pouring in the goal that fast, I mean, it happens in basketball too, where you could be in a tight game and then boom, 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 the other team's up 8 points. Timeout.
Right.
We got to stop this.
Yeah.
Get out of whatever mindset you're in, refocus.
Or you're cooling off the other team. Yeah.
But mostly for you, just get out of this headspace. Get back to just simplify, right? We say that a lot. That's what I think a timeout could have been used for.
The other, and I know,
really, did it matter?
It probably didn't matter last night. I know I'm more definitive on this next question because I know it came up during the second period. I would not have put Rodrigue in during the second period. Quite frankly, I'm not sure I even would have put him in for the third.
Really?
Yes. Because I absolutely would not have put him in during the second period. When the Kraken are just smelling blood and are all over the Oilers, that's not the time I would have had him make his first appearance. The third period is more justifiable, but I'm not even sure if I would have done that. Because to me, there's zero upside to putting him in when it's 5-0 and the game is going on.
Yeah, that's
like, to me, it's like, sorry, Calvin, like, you're part of this tonight.
You just got to wear this.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you look at those goals where there was nobody around.
It was just a horrible second period.
It was a really bad look. And I know I said this earlier to you, and, this is what happens when you have a team that is missing their top two forwards, top defender, and they have an off night. It's bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's really bad. It's concerning. For an off night, which that was.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Back to back. traveling the night before, probably didn't get in till late, but they came out and you called that. You said they're going to come out with some legs and,
they were okay in the first period.
It was great.
And by the way, look, I know this is one of those where I get it. People listening could say, well, easy for you to say, Reid. You're not out
talk
there.
About Connor Brown.
Like, why reach for that puck? Though?
What are you doing?
I mean, you can't. There's no
upside.
You know what? If it were closer to his shoulder, like I get it. You're eager. You're right in front of that. You want to keep the puck alive. If he would have reached for it and then it gets reviewed and he's tapped it 2 inches above shoulder height, I could be, okay, you know what? He's trying to knock it down as quickly as possible.
9 feet in the air.
But it was, I mean, you're not going to get that call. He ticked it. Yeah, like how far above his head was it? For almost the entire length of his stick. Like,
and that is just a lapse, right?
Yeah, like think about it.
Absolutely no reason.
I mean, if you want to
puck.
bring it down, get your jump for it,
like
and
the
try
defender
to tap
was.
it to yourself. But then he still can't glove it to anybody. So now, who knows if the puck would have gone to Skinner exactly the same way if he doesn't change the rotation a little bit, or if he leaves it because Vince Dunn stopped on the play. And did you see and then Skinner is yapping at Dunn after no, don't complain, it's not a high stick, and then it does get. That just wasn't great. But Connor Brown, just leave it. You can't survive that. I mean, I get it. Some of the ones that are high shots from the point and guys have their sticks up and they tip it and it's a little too high. They're hoping in that situation. That wasn't a hope play by Connor Brown. Oh, you know what? Maybe the ref, it'll be close enough I get away with it. Like, come on. Anyway.
Just Harry Polinsky in the Nasty Chat. Not sure if you guys spoke about it already. I'm a big Pickard fan. Was the defense in front of him at fault for most of those goals?
The whole team was awful.
Defense, forwards.
I mean, there was the one Wallman threw right up. Wallman made a great pass to that guy so he could walk into the slot and score. I guess I could say about the Oilers' goaltending, as I've said several times this season, you need to make a big save. But I mean, it was so bad.
That was Schwartz's second goal.
It was so bad.
Fed to him.
Yes, I think so.
Up the wall. Just a bad night for Wallman. A bad night for everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, but Reid, here's the problem. Is that you can only say this so many times is, hey guys, go bury that tape. Go throw that tape away. Go throw away everything. We're done. We're on to the next game. We've said this about at least 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
Well, the Ducks beat them 6-2 2 or 3 weeks ago. That road trip right out of the break. I know that seems like a while ago now.
But it's 2.
There was a couple on that one. Matt Hyman says, who was Skinner yapping at, the Kraken or the... I thought he was yapping at Vince Dunn. I thought he saw Vince Dunn appealing for a high stick because he was trying to get it done. I think Skinner was yapping at both, right? I mean, it doesn't really matter much at this point.
Yeah, and then he got into it with the bench.
I thought that he heard Vince Dunn going high stick guy. And he was like, no, it wasn't. Because I guess maybe Skinner thought that Dunn was accusing him of hitting it with a high stick, in which Skinner would be like, "Are you an idiot? Like I got it off the ice." But I'm sure he saw what Brown did. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Dan says the overhead views show Brown never touched it. He touched it. You could tell the puck changed the way it fluttered.
But I know what Dan's talking about.
It was
the
close.
Direct overhead. It's very hard to tell. There was the one angle that it showed that it did change the flutter of the puck, if you could say.
Yeah. But I don't know if scoring that goal would have saved the Oilers last night. So look, if the Oilers don't get healthy, I have some pretty serious concerns, not just about how they're going to do in the playoffs, but quite frankly, if they're going to be in the playoffs. Now, I'll admit, I'm going down probably the most pessimistic path I could find, but as I referenced off the top of the show, it's not a path that is completely inaccessible at this point. We'll dive into that when we get back.
The Lock Shop.
McDavid and Draisaitl and Ekholm aren't back for these next few games because they get Calgary, then they get Vegas. If they drop 3 of their next 4 and one of those other teams gets hot-ish for a week, I still think they're in. I think there's going to be a first round against the Kings just like every other year. It's just a matter of who's going to have home ice. But there's some reasons right now where
All right, thanks for bearing with us. Just a bit of a glitch there on the stream, so just back a couple minutes later than usual. We are still here. Hope you're having a great Friday afternoon along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins, Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Oilers hosting the Flames tomorrow at Rogers Place, 8 p.m. We will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show coming up at 7 tomorrow night. I'm going to dive into some stuff about what the Oilers need to do here to get into the postseason, I guess. I want to just talk with somebody here or respond to somebody in the Nazi chat. Daniel said, where now I can't find the original question because I was going back and forth with him. But he basically said, you know, what do you think about the coach? Like, is this a problem? And I said, well, like, what do you like? Here's the thing, and I'll say this to Daniel and everybody else. You can criticize anybody you want on the show, like Oilers stuff. You want to say, I don't think this is good, but you need to give us something. Like, you can't just, like, I always say this: if somebody wants to come up to me or call us or text us and say, I think the Oilers got outcoached, I will always say, okay, how? And then I usually, you go, oh, you're defending the coach. No, I'm not. But if you're going to make a claim, like, you got to back it up. So I said to Daniel, like, yeah, we can talk about it, but like, what's the issue with the coaching? So Daniel said, benching of players, always going with 29 and 97 when he thinks we are in trouble, giving some team members limited minutes but overloading others, playing a D-man on forward, not sticking with a goalie. The D-man on forward, I mean, Stetcher played a couple shifts at forward. I might have only been one, actually. I think they were just trying it out. Unusual. Sure, does it happen sometimes? Fine. Not sticking with a goalie. I said, well, what do you mean not sticking with a goalie? Like, one goalie's not going to play all game. And Daniel said in the nasty chat, well, yeah, but maybe play one guy 5 in a row. Look, usually Skinner plays 2 or 3 in a row, and then Pickard plays. I think a couple times Skinner's got 4 in a row. I would argue the Oilers don't have a hot goalie right now. When Pickard helped them win the game in Carolina, he started the next game against Anaheim and was torched in the first period. The usage of 29 and 97 is definitely a good discussion. Do I think that is a damning mark on Knobloch that he can't coach? I don't, because I've seen every coach go back to Todd McClellan, go to Leonid Connor when they shuffle the lines. But it's a fair discussion. When do you do it? Does a coach do it too early? I'm not at the point where I'm placing Knobloch as a leading culprit for the team's struggles, because I think there are some other deficiencies that are more pronounced. Now, sometimes a coach gets changed. I'm not saying there's going to be a coaching change, but I mean, it's not always fair with coaches getting changed. I would think Knobloch will be the coach till the end of the playoffs, and then depending on how that goes, he'll be evaluated. But do I think Chris Knobloch is a flawed, bad coach? I don't. I get what Daniel is saying. I just don't see enough evidence to think if they would just change the coach, it would be way better, especially after a night like last night, in which they were missing 3 of their 5 or 6 most important best players, if not 3 of the top 4.
I was going to say 5 or 6 might be a little high.
Yeah.
I mean, Ekholm's very valuable to this team. You can clearly see the difference. They were struggling in the defensive end mightily. So how do you blame that on the coach? And that's the funny thing, Reid. And this transcends major sports. This is not just a hockey thing. A coach is not responsible for your lack of attention in the defensive zone during a game. I've always had this thought. What does a coach at a professional level really have to do? I think the most important part of that is getting your team together. These are professional hockey players. These are the best hockey players in the world.
Yeah, well, but the other thing is, and the old saying is, it may not be his fault, but it's his problem. Whether it was Knobloch or Tippett or whoever.
And oftentimes, as we see, I mean, what is Knobloch now? The middle of the pack as far as tenure as head coaches in the NHL?
I think he already is, crazily enough.
Right? So that says a lot because generally coaches are the fall guy for players that are underachieving.
Yeah. And Daniel's saying, he goes, I just said, when does it become a coach issue with the team? Never blamed him. Okay, well, whatever. I'm not, whatever you said. To me, it becomes a coach issue with a team when a team is greatly underperforming based on their expectations or previous performance, or there are some problems that continually don't get fixed. And in hockey, special teams is one of those, I would think. Now, the PK, you might be able to say, okay, that's not very good, but then they've had some big runs. So, and in Daniel, I will blatantly disagree with one thing you just posted in the nasty chat. A coach is a motivator. Nope. If you're an NHL player and you don't know how to prepare for a game, that ain't on your coach. Now, a coach might have to find little buttons to push along the way if he feels his team is in a morass or whatever
Two
like
times.
that. But I and I get it. And there's that certain esprit de corps, perhaps, that a coach has to help generate or create a good environment. And Knobloch has talked about trying to keep players confident and have their good attitudes. But in terms of flat out motivation, I believe that if you're not ready to play, that's more on the player. I believe. Daniel, if you believe otherwise, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to believe what I believe. I'm just saying that's my opinion and what most former NHL players I know have told me. You do what you have to do to be ready to play. Like Rob Brown used to say some guys were pacing around, nervous, like you're like fidgeting with their sticks, always checking. And Rob said he had a teammate that would literally be reading a newspaper up until 30 seconds before they went on the ice. And then be like, oh, game, okay. And he'd put his helmet on and get his gloves on and go and play.
Yeah,
and he was fine.
It's why you're a professional athlete, because you can flip the switch and turn it on. If you need motivation at this level, I'm sorry, your career's not going to be that long. The last time they would probably have needed motivation was in Pee-wee, if that. Right? But yeah, unfortunately, the coach is generally the fall guy for players that underperform.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, was last night's game an underperformance or was last night's game an expected performance given who was out? But there are some concerns about the health of these players, which is what I have, which I'll talk about when we get to buying or selling when we get back. Koob coming up here with a sports update.
Six games dot the NHL schedule. Montreal meets Carolina. The Jets and Devils drop the puck while the Canucks battle the Blue Jackets. And WHL playoffs start today. There's 7 games, including Edmonton and Prince Albert facing off. The Silvertips and Thunderbirds going at it before Spokane battles Vancouver. Meanwhile, the Raps hit the court against the Hornets. Charlotte. LaMelo Ball will miss the remainder of the season to undergo 2 procedures to address some lingering issues with his ankle and his wrist. And after that, the Knicks and Bucks tip off before Golden State meets New Orleans, having 7 games around the NBA. Toronto and Baltimore rematch with the Orioles smacking the Jays 12-2 yesterday. Right now, the Rockies and Rays find themselves tied at 2 at the top of the 9th. Women's NCAA action has top seed South Carolina trailing 4 seed Maryland 50-46 near the end of the third quarter. And in the men's game, 1st seed Auburn meets 5th seed Michigan, while the Boilermakers challenge the Cougars. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting brings us back after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubusch. for your sports update.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
It's time for a wing throwdown at the Canadian Brewhouse. Fuego Verde versus Honey Blaze. Who's got the best flavor? Come taste the heat and get your wing fix anytime. Plus 69-cent wings all day Wednesdays. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Join our very own Dustin Nielsen, Trey and Terrell Ford of the Edmonton Elks, and other special guests on Tuesday, April 8th at the Bell in Scona for Edmonton Sports Talk's Bids for Kids, presented by GS Construction. A special live on-location show featuring a delicious appetizer buffet, silent auction, 50-50, and more. This year, Kids Sport is proudly celebrating 30 years of making a positive impact in our community. Don't miss out and join this special celebration to help continue to support those in need. Tickets are limited. Find them today at kidsportbidsforkids.com. That's kidsportbidsforkids.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Someday you'll be shedding your tears.
A one-of-a-kind retrospective. It's Glass Tiger, This Island Earth, April 4th at River Cree Resort and Casino.
Don't forget me when I'm gone.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
All right, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Remember, if you're taking us in on YouTube, to click that thumbs up. We got a little delayed with that slight glitch we had with the stream. But I'll tell you what, we're not yet halfway through the show, but we are over halfway to Word of the Day territory. So just keep click. I better play the song that inspires people.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
I haven't even bothered looking at my bracket in the EST pool on ESPN.com. Mike, the Michigan fan, assuring me that he has pulled ahead of me. I might be in last place. X-Ray J's in the nasty chat as well. You know, I'm not sure. I don't say this around X-Ray J. I think I might be his hero. Like, don't make a big deal about it, but I think he puts me on a bit of a pedestal.
I don't know.
Like, I don't want it that public. Okay? Well, just saying.
I disagree.
I think he might.
I disagree.
I think he's kind of like,
he's the guy that
thinks I'm pretty cool.
Has Glue Crew hoodie that everybody signed here.
True.
Let's be reminded of that.
That's true. Well, I think it's both of us.
Maybe you and I are his heroes.
I think he's got a thing for us, yeah.
Okay.
Is that a man crush? Is that what you call that?
Yeah, I'm down. Bring it.
You can text us at 780-218-9999. That's the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. All right. So they lost last night badly. Okay?
They did.
So let's look at this good old standings, which I have printed up here. The Oilers have 87 points. They have 10 games left. The LA Kings have 89 points. They have 11 games left. They're not catching Vegas. Fair enough? Like, even LA is not going to catch Vegas.
Right.
So we have, and here's how I look at this as well. The Oilers are not going to be a wild card team. They will be third in the division or they will be out. Because St. Louis is probably going to pass Minnesota, right? And Minnesota and the Oilers have the same number of points. But they're on the other side of the draw. So really, I'm not too worried about how many points those teams have. Because they are solidly ahead of Calgary and Vancouver, who are the best non-playoff teams.
Yep.
So I know people might be saying, well, Reid, what are you worried about then? Like if St. Louis, if you're saying that Vancouver and Calgary aren't going to pass St. Louis or Minnesota, and Edmonton has as many or more points than Minnesota and St. Louis. Why are you worried about Edmonton being passed by those teams? Well, here's why I am a little bit. As we go into buying or selling, presented by our buddy Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or the Instagram handle of Damon Bunting Real Estate. And I should preface this by saying, because I'm sure there are some of you who have heard me before on this show or heard me on my previous show, that I would often say once you get into March, if you have a 4-5 point cushion on somebody, you're fairly safe.
That's
like
true.
It's hard to make up, 2.5-3 wins over even 15 games. Like you got to go 11-4, and then you need the other team to go 7-8, and you're asking them to play worse than average. So I get it, and I looked at the pages that do some of the probabilities. Where did I write them all down now? I got 2 pages here. Oh, yeah, here it is. So, and there used to be that great website that had a bunch of stuff, but now Hockey Reference has their playoff probabilities. They have the Oilers at 98.1% to make the playoffs. Money Puck has the Oilers at 97%. Playoffstatus.com, which is a new one I found recently, has the Oilers at 98% chance to make the playoffs. So basically, it's 49 out of 50. In 49 out of 50 realities in the multiverse, the Oilers make the playoffs. Are we going to be the one where they don't get in? Well, here's why I think the path is slightly visible. Now, over the next, 30 hours, it could all seem way better. Okay? And the big uke is like saying, Reid, he's like, how can you say the Oilers won't make up the gap on Vegas, yet you're saying Vancouver and Calgary could make up a larger gap on the Oilers? Here's why I'm concerned, okay? I am concerned if the Oilers do not have a healthy Draisaitl, a healthy McDavid, and a healthy Ekholm in the lineup. We saw how that team looked last night. And as I said earlier, eventually it catches up with you if you don't have the skill. And I think it's happened the last 2 games. And then you have Ekholm out. So, and I'll ask you this, Jay. Are you buying or selling the Matthias Ekholm? Probably will not be very close to 100% the rest of the season, whenever that ends for the Oilers.
I would buy that. I don't know what's going on. Nobody does. But this has been going on since the middle of February.
Right.
Correct? So it doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. I don't believe it's a Charlie horse or a hamstring, like something fixable. I think this is maybe I don't know. He was quite ill.
Right.
So maybe that's a problem. I don't see it. I definitely buy that.
So here's my pessimistic concern, is that Ekholm either doesn't play every game or isn't anywhere near 100% when he does play, which Matthias Ekholm at 70% is still better than some, or still good, but that's a drop off. It sounds like Leon's going to be okay. Maybe he even plays tomorrow, but maybe he doesn't. And McDavid, we really don't know when he's going to be back. It's not going to be tomorrow by the sounds of it. Maybe it's not even Tuesday in Vegas. Okay. And even with those guys, there are some tough games coming up. So the Oilers have, here's what they have remaining. Sorry, I got to open. Oh no, I got it on this page.
I got it right here.
So the Oilers have a game tomorrow against Calgary. To me, that could go either way. In Vegas, tough. At St. Louis at San Jose on April 3rd. Okay, San Jose stinks. I get it. In LA never loses at home. In Anaheim beat the Oilers 6-2. Home to St. Louis. They have this really hot young forward out of nowhere who's leading their offense. Home to San Jose. All right. In Winnipeg, tough. Next night, home to LA, tough. End the season in San Jose. I'm just saying there is a timeline, and maybe it's this one, where the Oilers probably go 3-7, especially if they don't get those healthy guys back. If McDavid and Draisaitl are both back healthy for the Vegas game on April 1st, even if Ekholm's still limited, changes everything, right? And again, the Oilers don't need to go 10-0 to make the playoffs. They have 87 points. Vancouver has 80. So even if Vancouver goes 7-3, that gets them to 94. So then the Oilers only need to go 4-6. Calgary's kind of in the same boat. They have 11 games left. They're at 79 points, right? So their max is 101 if they go undefeated. So, I mean, realistically, if the Oilers get to 94, 95 points, they're going to be fine. But to do that, they're going to have to play 500 hockey the rest of the way. And even if they go, and even if they don't go 500, yes, Vancouver or Calgary, one of them has to get hot. But it's possible. And it's certainly possible, in my mind, if you don't have the three important players who didn't play last night in the lineup and mostly healthy. That's where this comes from for me. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be alarming, but I think it's something that I need to consider. Maybe you as the audience member don't want to consider it, but I'm considering it, quite frankly.
Well, audience nasties, buy or sell yourselves. Buy or sell on how to cheer up old Reid Wilkins over here. He's gone down a dark.
Am I in a morass of misery?
No, but you the thing is, you're just looking at it as you should. Now, let me ask you this: buying or selling? Vancouver loses in regulation tonight.
Yes.
Oilers win tomorrow in regulation. Is all of this go away?
Well, it increases the, yeah. Then the Oilers would be 89. Vancouver's stuck at 80, and Calgary would be stuck at 79. That's like 30 hours from now, I could feel a lot differently.
Or you could feel worse.
Right. Well, what if Vancouver? Yeah. So what if Vancouver wins tonight in regulation, and Vancouver wins tonight, and Calgary beats the Oilers in regulation tomorrow? Then it's Edmonton 87, Vancouver 82, Calgary 81, and Edmonton's headed in the wrong direction and maybe isn't healthy. Now, the flip side of that is Vancouver loses in Columbus, Edmonton beats Calgary, and Edmonton's like basically 4.5 games up on both teams.
My concern, same as yours, is health.
Because that's where I'm coming from.
Yes, this is strictly from a health perspective, because we all saw what that looks like last night on an off night.
And we also have seen how Ekholm has been playing when he is in the lineup. He's not full power. He's not full Thor. He's Thor without the hammer. He's still pretty strong, but he doesn't have his magic hammer.
Okay, Rick, buying or selling? McDavid's out. And to be honest, Reid, if you can get back Draisaitl and a healthier version of Ekholm or somebody that's recuperating, McDavid could sit out the rest of the regular season. It wouldn't bother me. Get that man healthy for when it matters. As long as you can secure and hold your place where it stands right now as far as playoff races go. But, so Connor McDavid, let's just live in a fantasy world where Connor McDavid's out for the rest of the regular season, okay? Who would you want back first? Would you rather have a healthy Leon Draisaitl or a healthy
Draisaitl
Ekholm?
Oh, Draisaitl.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think he adds so much to the game. And like you've said numerous times, a physical element, a nastiness.
All I want to say is I just want to suggest a possibility, and I hate to do it. I'm just going to suggest a reality in which the Oilers finish the regular season with 93 points. And then one of Vancouver or Calgary has to play pretty well, like they got to play 650 hockey.
So they'd only win 3 more games? That's what you're saying?
Yes. I think there is a possibility that happens.
They play the Sharks 3 times.
Yep.
They get the Flames tomorrow.
Sure do.
They get the Ducks. I don't believe that'll hold up.
I'm just saying tomorrow's game it's quite large.
I have them 5-5. I have them 500.
Then they're 97 points. Then they're fine. Because then Vancouver would have to go 9-1. And Calgary would have to go like 9-2.
It's kind of too bad that there's no games against Vancouver left.
Well, but they play LA twice. So the optimists listening today are like Reid. But if they beat LA twice, maybe they're second. Yeah, fair comment.
Fair comment.
But does this team without Connor and Leon and Ekholm look like a team that can beat McDavid? Or look like a team that can beat the Kings?
And like you say, in LA, when they are at home, they do not lose.
Right.
I think it's going to be all right.
Well, the odds are still in their favor. I'm just suggesting.
By the way, you have always been the voice of reason around this time of the year, where you're looking at these races and saying, yeah, but even though they're back 7 points, that is hard, almost impossible to make up with 10 games left. Right? Maybe we should cut some old clips of yours and just replay them and can go to bed listening to them.
Got a limerick coming in from Bronco Nick. The bookbinder is feeling morass. The glue guy is showing some class. Weather is gross. Awanik is verbose. Somebody should call Seabass. That's pretty good. That's
great.
Really good.
I like the Seabass.
Yeah.
That's Cam Neely's character from...
was it Dumb and Dumber?
Dumb and Dumber.
Who was in There's Something About Mary? Oh, Favre.
Oh.
Wasn't it Brett Favre? She had an ex-boyfriend, Brett, or something like that? And then it turned out to be him. Riding the Pine and the Nasty Chat says, look at the facts here. The team this season isn't as good as last year. Do we really think we are going to go deep this year? This year is a write-off, and hopefully we make some good moves off-season. Yeah, I will say this, though, Riding the Pine. Even though I'm talking about some concerning things, I never look as a season as a write-off. Because once you're in the playoffs, it's a reset. Like, there's going to be favorites. The Oilers match up against LA right now appears to greatly favor the LA Kings. But Riding the Pine, I'm not going to sit here with 10 games left and write off the postseason. Because what if, look, I know I'm being somewhat pessimistic today, or I'm presenting a possible negative outcome. I don't even know if I'm being pessimistic. I'm just saying that there's a negative outcome that could happen, that is more likely to happen than it was 4 days ago. But I can't sit here and say, well, I'm going to write off the playoffs because I don't know I don't even know who they're playing. It's likely LA. I don't know who they're playing. I don't know how healthy they're going to be. Quite frankly, I don't know how healthy LA is going to be between now and then. So I will never sit here and say, it's a write-off Riding the Pine. That's just me. That's just me.
What do you think about this? Came in on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999 from KDK. The Oilers also had their 3 best players out of the lineup and arrived into Seattle at 3 a.m. after competing with Dallas. Last night means less than nothing. The regular season means nothing to the Oilers. They are built for the playoffs and are waiting for the challenge. Do you think this team is built for the playoffs?
I don't know.
TBD, bro? I don't think they are.
I don't think
you can honestly say that.
Well, built for the playoffs. Like,
to me, built for the playoffs means you've got piss and vinegar running through your veins and you're ready to get angry and physical and punish teams. That's not this team. That's not this team. Now, do they have playoff experience?
They have playoff experience.
Yes,
they do. And that's the hope, is that they get into the postseason and then maybe there's a little bump, and Janmark and Henrique and Brown and even Perry, though he's been good, or all of a sudden
you get that second level
a little different.
Yep, I think that's fair. But I don't know if this is a team built for the playoffs.
Well, I still they're not a lousy team. Like, let's be honest, they're not a lousy team. They're still very likely 49 out of 50 going to be in the postseason.
You know who's lousy? Your Stanley Cup projected winner.
Oh, God.
Nashville Predators. God.
Why are you bringing this up today of all days?
That might go down as worse than me leaving Buffalo out of the playoffs.
Nashville's going to finish probably 28th, I think.
Looking that way.
Or no, where are they? They're behind Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
they are. Wow. Oh, yeah, they're only ahead of Chicago and San Jose. Yeah, they're probably not going to pass Seattle. Yeah, that's one of the worst picks I've ever made.
Okay. I left Buffalo out of the playoff. I didn't choose them to win.
I should also mention, since I'm trying to give as much information as possible, according to the Strength of Schedule website, the Oilers have the 5th easiest remaining schedule. Yes. So, and that's, again, mostly because they play San Jose and Anaheim, though Anaheim's kind of dangerous. The most difficult schedule remaining is Detroit. And I'm talking about Calgary and Vancouver. Calgary has the 20th most difficult schedule remaining. And Vancouver is, I had Vancouver highlighted and now I can't find them. What's their abbreviation?
Vancouver?
Vancouver has the 4th most difficult schedule. So that's Oilers' advantage there too, is that it's one thing if the Oilers are sub 500. Again, Calgary and Vancouver also have to, one of them, not both, one of them has to play really, really well.
Health is wealth. Reid.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
We're in the Canadian Brewhouse studio, by the way. Thanks to Canadian Brewhouse for sponsoring the studio. UFC 314 going down at the Canadian Brewhouse April 12th. Catch the action on the most TVs with epic food and drinks. Don't miss it. Our house is your house. All right. More of your thoughts on the Oilers. We got pictures of your dogs in the snow coming up, and our buddy Jed Roberts is going to check in.
Utah visits Florida. The Blackhawks challenge the Golden Knights, and the Rangers face the Ducks, having 6 games around the NHL. And the Oil Kings match up against the Raiders to kick off their postseason. 7 other games go down. Swift Current hits the ice in Medicine Hat, while Portland and Prince George drop the puck. 7 games dot the NBA schedule. The Raptors take on the Hornets as Charlotte's LaMelo Ball will miss the remainder of the season for 2 separate procedures to address his ankle impingement and a nagging issue on his right wrist. Elsewhere, the Suns meet the Timberwolves. The Warriors battle the Pelicans, and the Nets tip off against the Clippers. In Sweet 16 action has top seed South Carolina taking a 57-56 lead over 4 seed Maryland with 6 to go in the 4th quarter. Men's NCAA action has Kentucky and Tennessee duking it out, while Michigan and Auburn show down. And after dropping a 12-2 decision to the Orioles yesterday, Toronto rematches Baltimore on a 9-game MLB slate that saw the Rays come back from a 2-0 deficit to beat the Rockies 3-2. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca. The Reid Wilkins Show returns after a quick break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program, a perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. Learn more about safety supervision, scheduling, cost control, and most importantly, how to lead a team. For more information and to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP to take your career to another level.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
joining us this afternoon. Oil Kings, by the way, we'll give away another pair of tickets to the Oil Kings Game 3 on Tuesday against the Raiders, probably between 5 and 5:30, which will be fun. Bootski says, how do you like the Oil Kings' chances against the Raiders? I will defer to Guy Flaming, who was on the show on Monday. Now, we got to remember, it is a 2 against a 7, but the Raiders didn't have the second best record in the conference. They're number 2 because they finished first in the division. It's only a 6-point difference. I think the Oil Kings I'm going to pick the Oil Kings in 6. How about that?
Wow. Okay.
I'm picking the Oil Kings.
I'm riding with you.
It's not like they're 35 points behind them.
No. It's a playoffs, baby.
I'm going to go, I'll go Oil Kings in 6. How about that, Abutski?
I saw that they did get into town safely. They showed a picture of their bus and looked through it like it came through a storm, actually. It did.
Yeah, that'd be awful driving in this. You always worry, Like, obviously, the tragedies we've had. So
yeah.
Give us a thumbs up, by the way, if you're on YouTube. Again, we had a little bit of a glitch there, so that delayed the thumb. So let's push over 100 here right away, and then we'll worry about getting into word of the day territory. Good buying or selling segment for Damon Bunting. We'll get to more of your feedback as we move along. We do have our weekly guest here on the Reid Wilkins Show, Double E alum, all-around good guy, Jed Roberts, checking in on the phone today. Jed, how are you surviving the snow, my man?
Actually, just memory.
All right. Well, one of those days, Jay.
It's got to be the snow, man.
It's got to be the snow.
It's
got to be little elves are playing around with this.
It's Friday. The board's tired.
Everybody's having a long work week. Everybody's all goofy. Let's do a snow day limerick, courtesy the Big Uke. Snowing, snowing, snowing. This is yucky. The weather, roads, and drivers all sucky. Dogs in snow. What a show. What's the scariest doll out there? Chucky?
That's good.
Both 2 limericks today. Both
Bangers.
outstanding.
Bangers.
Both outstanding.
I don't agree. I've been pleasantly surprised with the driving or drivers as a whole. I think it was so bad that you can't really screw around. You can't. You got to drive, it's 100 and you're going 70. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just chill out. That's everybody.
Well,
get
it's
home
one
safe.
of those where it's one of those days where hopefully when you're driving and you realize and let's face it, unless you're going really far, most places in this city is a 10 to 20 minute drive. I know it's a little lot farther for you to get home, but even so, if you're delayed by 5 or 10 minutes, you'll deal with it. Yeah. The people you're going to see or wherever you need to go will deal with it. I know you might be rushed or have an appointment and again, I got to go shopping. Well, do you? Could you?
That's what my wife said today. She's I got to go get groceries. Like, do you really?
Do you? There's something in the freezer.
We
probably
can figure something out.
You're probably not out of toilet paper
Go
entirely.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll go tomorrow. So that is a good reminder. Chill out on the roads.
Turn your lights on.
Turn your lights on. Be safe. Take your time. Again, 5 or 10 minutes, and that's really all it's usually going to cost you.
In the grand scheme of things, it's really
so yeah.
nothing.
Get there safe and respect everybody else out there. Okay, we got Jed. I think we got reconnected with Jed. Jed, how are you doing in this weather, man?
I'm good. I actually like this weather. It brings back great memories of growing up in Colorado.
So what elevation were you at in Colorado, and how severe would the snow be when it got bad?
Well, we used to get these storms all the time in the spring, and these actually the worst storms we get would be right around this time of the year. And in Colorado Springs, we were a mile high, like Denver. And I'm in a chat group with my mother and my 2 sisters, and we were talking today about the time that my mother took us on we went all around Colorado to all the different schools for a football tour for me when I was a senior in high school. And we went on what's called the $1 Million Highway. And my mom went on it with no snow tires, just regular snow tires and no chains or anything. And there's no guardrails. So you look down and you're looking at like 2,000 foot drop. And I just like my mom is like the most unassuming lady. She was an accountant, but boy, she had nerves of steel.
My God, no guardrail even.
She just shrugged her shoulders and said, well, we're just going to get her done, I guess.
Why did they call it the $1 Million Highway if it has no guardrails?
Well, back in those days when they built it, it was like, back in the 40s or 50s or whatever, that's how much it cost. And that's when $1 million was like $1 billion, right? So I guess they that the guardrail thing probably didn't make the tender. So,
My God.
Jed, you've played in some weather. Would you say that what was the worst weather to play in as during your CFL career? Would it be the snow, rain, or just downright bitter cold?
I'm gonna give you one that you haven't really thought of, and it was ice. It was like we played in Winnipeg in 1991, and they had an ice storm. And by that I mean that it rained and then it froze immediately. And so they had, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, Reid, it was about 4 to 5 inches of solid ice all over the stadium there. And so they had propane torches there trying to melt off an area so that we could play the game. And it was only because it was, I think, the 18th game of the season. And Hamilton at 2-16 or 2-15 or whatever, somehow managed to beat BC the night before. So we had to play Winnipeg to determine who was going to finish in first place. And we went down there, and they managed to clear off, I think, an 80 by 35 area. So we were playing basically on an American field, a truncated American field. And we ended up winning that game. And when we landed the plane did a 360 because it was just ice. Like we were landing on an ice rink. And it was nuts. Like, and that's the only time I've ever seen people actually cry on a flight when that plane started, because we didn't know if you were going to hit something or what, right? So, and I thought that was normal. I never saw anything like that again after that. That was my first year playing.
Wait a minute. You thought a plane doing a 360? Jed's like, wow, these pilots are fancy.
It's quite a trick landing.
Yeah, I thought that was normal.
It's like, yeah, you might spin, you might not. That's cool. Wow.
Yeah, I thought I was going to die that day.
Right? Yeah, you got a great memory. Yeah, Hamilton. So BC could have clinched with a win. BC was 11-6. Hamilton was 2-15, and Hamilton went into BC and won by 9, 26-17. Yeah.
You don't understand how astronomically unlikely that is, because Hamilton was notorious for always, like, those cross-country trips would just wipe them out, and they would always get bushwhacked whenever they went into BC. So everybody in the league was like, yeah, there's no way that Hamilton's going to win this game. They wouldn't win that game if they were 15-2. You know what I mean? And then they went in and they laid one on BC, and so we had to play.
Wow. Okay. We got to touch on the Oilers here. I like when it's that bad last night, and obviously the Oilers were missing some significant people, and there was late night travel. We have had people texting the show saying, don't worry too much about it. And of course, we have other listeners saying, well, sign of things to come. The Oilers can't do it. What did you think of last night's game, and how do you overall evaluate a result that's poor?
Well, I would point in the direction of, like, if you look in history, every one of the teams that have won the Cup in the last little while has had games like that toward the end of the year there. And especially the teams that, wink, wink, did the LTIR thing, like Florida and Vegas. They were missing guys, and then they took some pretty significant beatings there toward the end of the year. And then once they started to get their guys back, then they started to build that cohesion, and then they hit the ground running. And I suspect that's what you'll see with this team. But it was really tough to watch last night. I mean, you had Klingberg walking around like he didn't know where he was supposed to go. And, Stecker looked pretty good. But, that's the good thing about this situation, is that you got guys coming in and they're sort of auditioning for the playoffs. And, when you're missing guys like McDavid and Draisaitl and, Ekholm and, we haven't even seen Kane this year. We haven't seen Frederick. That's 5 guys, dude. Like, and those are guys that are not really normally replaceable. And, you just kind of have to take it, and you don't really have your top 6 guys in the lineup, and you're rolling with third line guys. This is what happens, right? You get over that, even with a team like Seattle. And then they had a score to settle because they got beat up pretty good the last time they rolled through here. So I wouldn't look too into it. I wouldn't get too worked up about it. I saw online where people were, there's 7 games. Vancouver's going to catch them. Nah, if you look at their schedule, they play San Jose and they play. They've got some pretty winnable games coming down the stretch, and I think they'll pull it together. They just need to get these guys healthy, and then we'll see what they can do.
Well, Jed. Full disclosure, Reid was one of the people that were worrying about, or
I presented it as a possibility how the Oilers could be caught.
given
Yes.
given the injury situation. So, full disclosure, Jed, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to switch sports here. I wanted to talk about the Elks and specifically GM Ed Hervey, who had some comments that rubbed some people the wrong way and caught some of the media's attention. I just want to get your comment on it. What you think? Essentially, he's had this running spat with Eugene Lewis since free agency. Didn't talk to Eugene Lewis. Eugene Lewis referred to himself as a superstar. Ed Hervey came out and mentioned that he doesn't know of any superstars that are in the CFL. I feel that was a bit taken out of context. But what did you think of those comments? And you know, should Ed just stay away from this topic going forward?
Yeah, I think that it's important to understand the context that conversation took place. And, you know, Ed's talking from a place of like, you know, his idea of a superstar is quite a bit different from, you know, what the average Joe would be like. And if you're talking about CFL, absolutely, there's guys that are superstars in the league. And I don't think that Ed was thinking in terms of, I think Ed is more thinking about the money thing, about like paying guys $400,000 as a receiver. And I don't think he really operates that way outside of quarterback. I don't think he tends to pay guys that much. I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't really looked at his overall body of work, and specifically with regard to what he did in BC. I know he paid Riley quite a bit of money, but I don't know that. I mean, if you look at BC, they paid Betts a lot of money, and then they paid Rourke a lot of money, which is understandable. And then they went over the cap by almost $400,000, so they had to forfeit a couple draft picks. And you know, I think from a monetary standpoint, I don't think he operates from the perspective that there are superstars in this league outside of the quarterback, right? And I don't even think that in his mind he probably doesn't think there are any bona fide superstars in terms of, you know, it's a pretty even playing field right now. You know, Rourke had kind of a down year, and you know, Bo Levi bounced back, but I don't really think that, you know, if you were to stop somebody in the street, you know, like in the 90s, if you would have said name one CFL superstar, you could say Pinball or Gizmo, right? There really aren't those guys now. You know, you don't get those like household names anymore. So I don't think he was wrong, but I also think that I also understand why his comment would ruffle feathers and why it would cause a little bit of controversy. And also, I mean, it's the off season, so what else are you going to talk about, right? Let's poke Ed and see what he says.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, anytime you poke Ed, you're going to get something out of him. And I think that's one of the wonderful things about being in the media is you know who to go to get a really good quote, and that was certainly one of them.
Jed, yeah, we always get great quotes from you. People in our chat and on our text line enjoying your appearance. You got some compliments on your laugh today, which I enjoy as well. Stay safe on the roads, but I know you enjoy the snow otherwise, man. So have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, buddy. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Jed Roberts checking in. Love having him on the show. Always has a good opinion. He's he's quite level-headed about the Oilers, probably because I find that the ex-players usually don't get too...
They don't waver too much.
Because they've all had games like that.
They know what's going on.
And they didn't get destroyed by it or feel like they didn't.
Yep.
So, yeah. By the way, don't forget to check out skimarmot.com. I know the boys in the morning do it, and we have the Marmot Basin Ski Report. Brian's a little under the weather.
Yes.
So we'll get him on again next week. But we have the Marmot Basin Ski Report every week here on this show. Ski for half price every day with the Marmot Escape Card. Great deal, $99 at skimarmot.com. You can also get 4 lift tickets for the family for only $329. Also at skimarmot.com. Great deal for families and only available online. Bronco Nick says, I love Jed. He is awesome. Can he tackle Maddie one day? Well, we would not do that to Mr. Iwanek.
Oh, I'd love to see it, though.
Jed is, I wouldn't want to get hit by anybody, but I don't think Jed would ever hit me. He's an imposing figure.
I don't think Jed would ever hit you either.
No, but he takes up a lot of space. Like you can see why he was on the D-line and on special teams. Because
Yes,
if you wanted to run around him, you might be faster than him, but... It takes a while to get around him, so he's going to get that angle on you eventually. He's a great guest. Love to have him on the show. Okay, in the next hour, we're going into our final hour. We're going to have our game of the night. Mine affects the Oilers, potentially. We're going to have our word, or we'll probably do 2 words of the day, just for fun. And we'll give away 2 more tickets to the Oil Kings playoff home game on Tuesday at Rogers Place against Prince Albert. I have confidently picked the Oil Kings to win that series in 6. So we're gonna have another trivia question, right? That people will answer on the text line.
Absolutely.
You want to do that? Do that way as well. This will be. So the last one went back to 2014. This one will be a more recent Oil Kings question.
Okay.
Sound fair?
Yep.
So here's the 5 o'clock break.
The EST Hangout.
There's no way Alphonso Davies isn't going to want to play in a World Cup. That's the dream of every soccer player. And it's a home World Cup. I'm not worried about that in any way, shape, or form. If he wanted to play against the U.S. in a meaningless game, to our nations, it actually wasn't fully meaningless. There is no way that he's going to be like, no, I don't want to play in the World Cup now. He might not trust the medical team, though. Even just in that sense, you might have to change the medical team.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
UFC 314 goes down at the Canadian Brewhouse on April 12th. Watch every knockout on the most TVs with epic food and drinks in the best atmosphere. Don't miss the action. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Vancouver hits the ice in Columbus. Carolina hosts Montreal while the Devils and Jets go head-to-head, having 6 games in the NHL. And WHL playoffs start today. Edmonton and Prince Albert drop the puck. The Silvertips and Thunderbirds go at it before Spokane battles Vancouver. And the Raps are back in action, taking on the Hornets, having 7 games in the association. Charlotte's LaMelo Ball will miss the remainder of the season to undergo 2 separate procedures to fix his ankle impingement and a right wrist issue. In just a moment, the Cavs and Pistons clash before the Clippers face the Nets near the end of the game. Top seed South Carolina leads 4th seed Maryland by 3 points. And the men's game has Ole Miss and Michigan State tipping off, while Kentucky challenges Tennessee. In baseball sees 9 games. Toronto and Baltimore are warming up to rematch after the Orioles beat the Jays 12-2 yesterday. After that, the Pirates and Marlins have a date, while the Cubs and Diamondbacks show down. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Are we here, Koob? We're here.
We're all here.
We're all here. Final hour of the week. So tomorrow on Edmonton Sports Talk, Hello Hockey at 10 a.m. with Tom Gazzola, or Tony Gondola, as some of us know him as.
Tommy Gorgonzola.
As some of us know him. Yeah. And Sean Bell, great guy. And then at 7, more Gazzola with Hernan Salas. Who do they have tomorrow? Is it Cass? I think they got Cass tomorrow. 7 o'clock, Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show leading into the 8 o'clock game at Rogers Place between the Oilers and the Flames. So I'll be going to that one. And then there will be on after the game to break it down. If you're consuming us on YouTube today, however you're consuming us, by the way, we thank you. If you're on YouTube, click that thumbs up button. Let's see how high we can get to before we sign off just before 6 o'clock. If you are texting us, you are using the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, Home of the Kitchen Restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. Email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com or Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Our off-topic topic for William Huff was how your pet enjoys or doesn't enjoy the snow. And as a cute little bonus for a Friday, we said send us a picture of your pet in the snow. And we'll do that around 5:20-ish. We promised dogs. We promised cute dogs. We're giving you cute dogs. We can't give you cute hosts. Well, you're good looking.
Thanks. You're not so bad yourself.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, but thanks.
Hey, I wanted to ask you.
What?
When we started this show, oh God. When was
December 3rd, 2024.
Seems like 10 years ago.
Great day.
Now. You were beardless.
Correct.
And now you've really latched on to this beard. What's the I can't
it'll
grow
come
a
off
beard.
in April.
Oh yeah, it's a summer no-go zone?
Well, I'll probably just take it off and then we'll see if I want to restart it or not. I think, when did I grow it? In November?
I think so. Now, you're going to do that at the start of playoffs?
No, it'll have nothing to do with the playoffs.
Well, some would say different.
Well, some can believe whatever they want.
I suppose that's true. When I said Gorgonzola earlier about Tom, it made me think about cheese.
Gorgonzola, yeah.
Are you a cheese guy?
Whoa! Whoa!
Generally, I like cheese.
I like cheese too. Do you like the
where is this coming from?
I just thought of it.
Okay.
I've never asked you about. We've never talked about cheese. Is that such a bad thing?
No, it's fine.
What's your favorite cheese?
Just to snack on?
Yeah, like what are you going with? Marble? You more of a
Provolone.
cheddar? Oh, provolone.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Provolone, Asiago's good.
Hardy.
Yeah, those two would be up there.
What about blue?
In a dip or in a sandwich, not to snack on.
You're not afraid of the
No,
blue.
no, that doesn't bother me at all.
I'm not the crazy. It's like my sushi tastes. I'm more of a California roll kind of guy.
Simpler stuff, which is fine.
Blue cheese I can take, a little bit.
Well,
I like cheese.
Fantastic. All right. Let's get to the game of the night. It is presented by
Play more tables and games.
From ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for. Visit Canada's Game Room Experts, locations in Edmonton and Calgary, or online at playmoregames.ca. Well, it's a game I was referencing earlier, and I believe it's just starting, is it not? And that is the Vancouver Canucks at the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Oh, should we get that on the ESTV?
Yeah, do we get it?
Well, it would be Sportsnet, right?
We should be able to get it.
Let's do it.
So Canucks Blue Jackets, as I said, if Vancouver wins, they move 5 points back of the Oilers for third in the Pacific. The Oilers do have a game in hand, but I'm just saying it would make it a little tighter with the Oilers not being healthy and with some tough games coming up. So for me, definitely Vancouver and Columbus. I'll do other games of note after you do your game of the night.
Well, there's only one game tonight for me, Reid, and that comes in the March Madness tournament. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but it is going on right now. The Sweet 16, number 5 Michigan taking on number 1 Auburn. And I would love to see this upset happen.
Did you pick Michigan? You know who else would, is Mike, the Michigan fan.
Yeah, I have Michigan State meeting in the semis, or the quarterfinal.
That game's at about 7:40. Ole Miss, Michigan State about to start. Kentucky, Tennessee in half an hour, and then the late game, Purdue against Houston on the men's side of the draw.
I know you were. Well, this is an interesting topic. I mean, I had to I was watching the Oilers, but at some point I said, okay, screw this. There's better entertainment on for me.
I did not see the end of this great basketball.
In the form,
I watched the Oilers right to the end, and then I listened to our postgame show. I didn't see the overtime NCAA game, everybody.
Well,
I stuck with the Oilers till the end and then listened to post.
It was also a chance to see the greatness of Cooper Flag.
That's a great name.
Cooper,
that's the Duke
such
guy?
a name.
Yeah.
Such a great name. He is lighting it up. I don't even know how tall Cooper Flagg is, but he plays at the point guard position. And he's just dominant. I mean, it is something. He's 2.06 meters, Reid. Thanks a lot.
I love how we use meters and kilometers, but when it comes to height, we're lost.
Yeah, what are we doing? He's 6'9".
Yeah, over 2 meters is pretty tall.
And he's playing the point guard position. Like dribbling the ball up, keeping defenders away. Like he's a point guard.
How old is he? Is he a freshman?
He's a freshman.
So he'll get drafted after this season
He's
and go
18 years
go
old.
to the association.
How many centimeters is that?
By
209, Koob. Just multiplied by 100.
Gosh. You know what his sibling's
I
name
don't know
is?
if Koob was trolling me or not. Jack Flagg from the DC Comics.
No. Ace.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Ace Flagg.
Remember there was that quarterback in the NCAA? I don't know what happened to General Booty. His name was General Booty.
Kudos to his parents for taking the,
I guess, what do you name your kid if your last name is Booty?
Doctor?
His name of Dr. Booty. Senator? Senator Booty. And then he becomes a doctor.
Well, don't get me going on booties.
Dr. Senator Booty.
I went off on the amount of booty I've seen of Beyonce.
We did that when you were away.
Yeah?
Yes, that was the off-topic topic on Monday. We showed that commercial, and then they said, what's the most annoying overplayed commercial?
Gosh.
Like, it's a little much. Like, I get it.
It's a lot.
But
it's a lot for many different reasons.
We're talking about it, though. That's what commercials want you to do.
I didn't want to get sucked into it again. Here
Somebody has a handle in the Nasty Chat called Jasmine's Broken Foot. Oh, I should mention as well, another game of the night possibility is your buddy, Brad Marchand, debuting for the Panthers against the Utah Hockey Club. No score early. As the ESTV has completely betrayed us again. Like it says watch live, and you click watch live, and it says, because we can't get this one in this region. It's a Canucks region game. So find some basketball.
What a joke.
Jeez. He's so upset. He's getting fired up early. Okay, let's give away a pair of tickets to the Oil Kings game on Tuesday night at Rogers Place, playoff game against Prince Albert. You have to, text your answer to 780-218-9999. That's the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. What Oil King won WHL playoff MVP in 2022? What Oil King was the Western Hockey League playoff MVP in 2022? Text that in. I think this one's going to happen very quickly.
Koob, do you know it?
Koob's nodding. He didn't want to put his mic on in case he blurted it out, though. Very responsible of you, Koob. Don't do it. Somebody will win within 40 seconds, I predict.
I'm watching.
I don't want to say anything, give away any hints. If you're in the Nasty Chat, give us the thumbs up. Let's hop over 100 here. We had a bit of a glitch with the thumbs. I think we should be higher, and we are on pace to be higher. But let's see how high we can get to before the end of the show. We got can you come on now, Nathaniel? Do you want to do something quick? We got a very special guest hanging out at Edmonton Sports Talk this afternoon. A young man who is, for some reason, interested in going into broadcasting.
Why would you say that?
Because, well, we'll see how he feels after spending 6 hours with us. Nathaniel Gould is here. Nathaniel, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Can you put the mics closer to him, Koob? There we go. So we want to make you uncomfortable or anything, but do you like being in front of a microphone? Is this weird for you? Or you were like, yeah, absolutely, Reid. Let me do the show.
No, I think it's great. I mean, it's not very uncomfortable in any way. It's kind of just easy and relaxing.
Yeah. What interests you about possibly going into broadcasting?
Well, I like sports, and I mean, it just seems like a fun thing to do.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Sherwood Park.
Sherwood Park. And who did you get in touch with so you could come hang out with us today?
I got in touch with Jay's sister-in-law, Rachel.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's
Family
how
connection.
this started?
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys know each other from before?
No.
Oh.
No, but my nephew's buddy is one of his best friends is your brother, right?
Yeah.
So that's how it all came about.
Oh, neat.
Now your dad your uncle is in the chat. Your uncle's listening.
Yeah.
He might be.
Very
He might
angry
be.
Oilers fan.
Yeah.
Very angry. Is he always so angry?
But he said Nate. Now, we've been calling you Nathaniel all day. What do you prefer?
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. I respond to both.
Do you ever go with Nate, D-O-G-G, the Nate Dog? Woo, woo.
I think I've heard it before, but I mean, not usually.
I'd go with Nate Dog.
I might have to do that.
Who would you say has been who has provided the most inspiration to you today
Oh, jeez.
for your time here at the ESD offices?
Probably Zach.
Wow, Zach.
the Koob. Well, they're close in age.
Yeah.
So you are going to Nate to study radio and television?
Yep.
Next year?
Yes, in January.
Well, congratulations. It's an excellent program. You're going to learn a lot. It'll be a very valuable experience. So dive in there and enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm
my
excited.
Friend. Maybe we'll have you back at EST as a practicum student or even a colleague someday.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out for the show.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have not seen you fall asleep. So we've done our job.
Thank you for having me.
Keeping people awake. That's the bare minimum. No, it's awesome, buddy. It's awesome to have you. Hope you had a great day here.
Yes, I did.
All right. 780-218-9999 if you want to check into the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Who is the winner?
Sickler. Got it.
Did we have multiple right answers coming in? I hope so.
We did. Now, I will say this. Matt Hyman got it first. But obviously, he lives in Winnipeg.
In northern Manitoba.
Yeah. So, or not in Winnipeg. He lives in Manitoba, like you said.
Yeah, he lives like north of... He's on the border to none of it.
North of 60?
I don't know.
So Sickler got it. It was actually his son, Ben, who sent in the text. And that player was, Reid?
Caden Gooley.
There you go.
Caden Gooley was the playoff MVP in the Western Hockey League with the Oil Kings in 2022. Pretty good player, for sure. All right. What do you want to do here, Jay? Do you want to break or do you want to do the dog? When are we doing the dogs?
I like Dags. What's that from?
Well, I don't know. What is that from?
Snatch.
See, I don't remember Snatch.
You've downplayed Snatch in front of me.
Yes, I don't know if I've even...
You don't even like
I'm not even
Snatch.
sure if I saw it. Or I didn't like it very much, or thought it was overrated.
This might be a problem.
Okay, I'll rewatch it.
I think Snatch is great. I like Dags.
Who said that?
His trainer, Tommy.
All right. Sorry, I don't remember that.
Yeah, we got dogs.
We got fired up. We want to do them now?
Sure, let's show some
Koob,
dogs.
do you have the dogs up? No, he's not ready. He's not ready. We're going to do it after the break. So we have fired up for Gemco. We have your dog pictures of dogs playing in the snow. We have the word of the day, and who knows what other trouble we'll cause on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
Playoff race continues in the NHL. 6 games on tap. 3 are live right now. It's 1-1 between the Hurricanes and the Canadiens. 14 minutes to go left in the first period, and it's scoreless in 2 other games. Utah taking on Florida midway through the first, while the Canucks and Blue Jackets face off. And from Prince Albert, the Oil Kings and Raiders have a date. 8 games for opening day of the WHL playoffs. Elsewhere, Brandon visits Lethbridge. Tri-City faces Victoria, and the Blades meet the Hitmen. 7 games dot the NBA schedule. Toronto tips off against Charlotte. LaMelo Ball has been ruled out for the remainder of the season for the Hornets to undergo 2 separate procedures to address some lingering ankle and wrist issues. Right now, it's the Cavaliers and Pistons tied at 15 aside midway through the first quarter. After that, the Clippers and Nets showdown, while the Knicks and Bucks hit the court. March Madness action has 4 games, one of which is underway right now. 6 seed Ole Miss is up 6-4 early in the first half over second seed Michigan State. After that, Kentucky and Tennessee have a date. And it's Jays and Orioles rematching in Toronto. No score in that one at the bottom of the first. 8 other games in the MLB. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. Go see the knowledgeable staff today. The Reid Wilkins Show returns after a brief break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
I mean, I guess they're going to promise one of these guys a roster spot to come from the German league to play on what's supposed to be a Stanley Cup contender. Maybe they legitimately hit on somebody, but how many times have they tried this European thing? I don't think you should be going over to Europe, signing somebody and saying, hey, you're going to be on our opening night roster. This team should not be in that spot.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Missing the course? The Canadian Ice House is here to keep your skills sharp. Trackman golf simulators are open. Real golf action right in downtown Edmonton. Don't let the off-season slow you down. Visit us in-store or check out thecanadianicehouse.com for all the details.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Someday you'll be shedding your tears.
A one-of-a-kind retrospective. It's Glass Tiger, This Island Earth, April 4th at River Cree Resort and Casino.
Don't forget me when I'm gone.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
If I had to guess the name of this song or this track, I would say, maybe it's You and Me.
Beach Weekend.
Very close, actually. It's 29 Palms by National Sweetheart.
National Sweetheart. There you go. Baby.
Is that off the YouTube playlist?
Always. Nothing but bangers.
Pretty good. You know, in the Beds Are Burning video, he does dance later on in profile silhouette.
The same?
But it's from, but in profile. It was similar, awkwardly.
Wait a minute.
We want to recreate that video.
Yeah, I think we have to. Maybe we could do it at the sleepover.
Who is Jasmine's broken foot in the nasty chat? They're having a lot of fun. They're having a lot of fun. It's not Jasmine. Well, unless she's running 2 accounts, I don't think she would do that.
I think the NYPD official account.
Oh, that was
also
funny. That was very funny this morning. Yeah, because what's the story? Jasmine got arrested in New York and broke her foot.
Yeah, I heard she threw her phone at a cop and then kicked the cop, broke her leg, and then got arrested.
And then they were like, "Oh, wait a minute, you're Canadian. We'll let you go." Trump said to let you go.
Yeah.
That is not true. That was part of the tariffs. Was that we got Jasmine back?
Yeah.
Like, okay, you can slap tariffs on us, but please give us Jasmine.
Keep your 25% steel tariffs. Just give us Jasmine.
I believe that's how that played out.
That is not true about what happened. I don't know what happened to Jasmine.
That actually is fake news, what we just said.
Yeah, it is. Entirely. Do you know what happened to Jasmine?
Yeah, she told me, but
she hurt her foot.
I tend to forget things she says.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's like one of those, like I'm paying attention, but not, you know?
It's like
she must hate me.
No.
Well, I've given her no reason to like me, I guess. So that's maybe my own fault.
It's like when you're driving down the road and you don't you're driving, you're paying attention, but you look up and you're 20 kilometers down the highway.
Yeah, because it's second nature.
Yeah.
All right. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. If you're in the nasty chat, you can keep chatting with us, with each other, and with Jasmine. She's interacting with people there. Give us the thumbs up as well. Let's see how high we can get on a Friday afternoon. 10 a.m. tomorrow, Hello Hockey. And then at 7 p.m., the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan. We are fired up for Gemco Fireplaces. Proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. Are we going to start with the dogs?
Yeah, let's start with the
We're
dads.
fired up that we got dog pictures in the snow for our off-topic topic of for William Huff. Now, was that Cooper?
No, this is another corgi that was sent in
another
from Jason. I believe he said this dog is 14 and a half years old.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Good little dag.
My dog is 18 and 10 months. Rocket.
Wow.
Yeah.
This, I forget who this is from, but this dog is just lounging on the trampoline.
On a snow-covered trampoline.
Yeah.
That is a great photo.
But that's just what they do.
That would be comfortable.
They like to get their whole body.
These are all from today.
Yeah. Well, there's more on our Instagram feed as well. These are newer.
Sweet.
And this is Big Uke's dog curling up on the pot.
in a flower pot
Yeah.
on the balcony with snow in it and perched on top of that. That's an incredible photo.
I don't know if that dog does like snow. What would
That dog might think it's avoiding the snow by going in.
That dog's
the
avoiding.
higher up I am, the less likely I am to be in snow.
It's not on me. Beautiful. Love the dags.
And we have more on the Edmonton Sports Talk Instagram account.
Yeah, check it out. Follow us at Edmonton Sports Talk. That's an interesting effect you put on the pictures there, Koob. For those not watching on YouTube, he kind of framed it with a little
ghost-like between us.
Yeah.
The specter-like.
So can we hologram in whoever we want whenever?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like we were beaming them in.
I could put Captain Picard right between you guys right now.
That'd be
Make
sweet.
it so, number one.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, bet you didn't think that was going to happen. Fired up for Gemco. Well, I'm truly fired up for the game tomorrow.
Are you?
Well, it is a game. It's unfortunate that with the Battle of Alberta, we have not had a lot of significant games over the years.
Yeah,
and I'll credit Pat Steinberg, who was, or maybe it was one of our listeners that came up with it. But this was before the Oilers got good, and the Flames were up and down. Like some years they were actually pretty decent. They had some years where they were, one of the top two seeds in the conference, but they had a lot of years too where they were mediocre, and a couple of years almost like in the Oilers range. So I think there was one year they played in a late regular season game and it was like 25th place against 26th or 27th. And somebody said it's no longer the Battle of Alberta, it's the pillow fight of Alberta. Now we did get a playoff series in 2020. What year was that? 2022. And
electric,
but a bit like the Oilers handled it. The games were close, but the Oilers kind of controlled.
They did what
took
they were
control
supposed to.
and hung on to it, and then they got, the Flames fans are probably saying like, you better mention Coleman got screwed, Reid. And they kind of got screwed on the Coleman call, but McDavid still won it in overtime. So tomorrow's game is not a playoff game. It is not going to determine directly playoff positioning, but what?
It might as well be a playoff game.
Like if Calgary loses, their path to get in is basically going undefeated. Or close to undefeated.
It's as close to
if the Oilers win, they can pretty much put maybe it's not the dagger, but it's a strong fork.
Would you say it's a
Stuck in the
must-win
Flames.
for Calgary tomorrow night?
It's a gotta have.
It's a gotta have it.
And then if the Flames win, their playoff hopes increase a little bit. By the way, the Beyonce commercial's on right now. If you want to see her butt in jeans,
go figure. I've seen it.
It's probably on YouTube on a loop. And then if the Flames win, maybe more their fans can say, well, we mucked it up for the Oilers. Especially if Vancouver wins tonight and the Flames win in regulation tomorrow, at least they can say, well, you know what? We made the callers a little tighter in oil country, even though Edmonton's still likely to get in. So the stakes aren't incredibly high, but there is enough of one team's fan base saying, well, let's at least hope our team screws it up at least a little bit for the other team. And they haven't played in a while. They haven't played since November. So it's a year in which, because of the schedule rotation, they only play 3 times instead of 4. So I'm fired up for the game tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the BOA at Rogers Place.
I am too. A good Calgary Edmonton Saturday night late game matchup always gets the blood running and pumping, right? But I would like to see more of that atmosphere with that, we all saw from that Vancouver Calgary game recently, where
the one a few weeks ago.
Yeah, like that was passionate. That was intense hockey. I would like to see that because both these teams need to be ready, or certainly the Oilers, to begin playing like that.
And plus, the Oilers might get Leon back. I mean,
do you think Leon plays tomorrow? Let's talk about that. We glanced over it. Does Leon Draisaitl play?
I lean that he will play.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he'll take the morning skate again. And because he took a morning skate 2 days ago, that's a good sign. So I would, if I had to bet, and I don't really have any super inside knowledge, I would bet Draisaitl plays tomorrow. McDavid's a no. Ekholm, who knows? I would hope after missing a game, but I just feel I'm at the point with Ekholm. I'm not sure what's going on all the time and how he's feeling all the time, unfortunately. But I'm gonna say Draisaitl thinks, all right, my team needs me here.
Yeah, I think Knobloch did say for Draisaitl earlier on that if this was a playoff game, he would have played. So now, how many games off has he been? Was it 3 or 4?
What has he missed? He missed Winnipeg, Seattle. Yeah, he's missed 4 now.
4. So if he can go, I think the competitive edge will definitely come out of him, and he's going to get in the lineup. But this is a team, Reid, that could look very, very different. And maybe that'll be my fired up for the playoffs. And we don't know this. I've just said this a couple times now, but let's say McDavid does sit out the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Ekholm's not ready to go. Leon Draisaitl comes back. But this team finishes the regular season with Draisaitl in the lineup, and that's it. Ekholm, right. McDavid out. Then you get to the playoffs, and that's right around do you think Trent Frederick, I know you talked about it a few days ago when I was not on, but does he even play in the regular season? I mean, after hearing what Knobloch said about him, this is the worst case scenario, is it not? Like, he should have been in already.
Mm-hmm.
March 7th was a trade deadline day, and that was, 1 to 2 weeks probably. We're past that.
Yeah.
And now they're saying it could be another 1 to 2 weeks.
I think at most Frederick plays 4 regular season games. At most. And Kane obviously won't play any.
Could be a totally different looking team come playoff time.
And that's the thing when, we get the messages, they're not good enough. They're good. Like, yes, I get the concern. I recognize the probabilities are perhaps not as favorable for the Oilers as they were going into last year's playoffs, but you don't know. You don't know. And sometimes 1 or 2 players back or a player feeling a little healthier, that changes everything, right? So that's why I'm not going to write off the Oilers yet. There are some disturbing things when they... And here's another thing, Jay. Now we're seeing some games when they lose, like it gets bad. Because remember when they were having some comeback wins and people were like, oh, well, you can't come back all the time. I was like, yeah, but there's still wins. That's why I say that. It's better than having a game get out of control. I mean, a couple games on that road trip, third period was meaningless. Anaheim game was basically over after the first period. Last night's game. Now, to be fair, they came back against Dallas and made that one interesting 2 days ago. But that's the thing. They've had some games lately when they don't play well, it gets out of hand. They're not in it. And that's tough.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all, 2-3 weeks from now, how this all plays out.
But in terms of, there's a website, tankathon.com, and it has strength of schedule. They have the Oilers with the 5th easiest schedule the rest of the way. They have the difficult games as the 2 against LA, Vegas, Winnipeg, and St. Louis. And they have the easier games as 1 against Calgary, 1 against Anaheim, and 3 against the Sharks, who did beat Toronto last night, right?
Yeah, what a game that was.
So, but I still think the Oilers will make the playoffs, even though I presented a path to them not making the playoffs. And the reason I did that is because it is not an inconceivable path. Like, it's not as if I'm saying, well, if the Oilers go 0-10 and Vancouver goes 10-0, Vancouver finishes a point ahead of Edmonton. I'm not presenting something that loopy. I'm presenting Edmonton goes 3-7, which could happen, especially if they're not healthy and don't have these guys in the lineup. And then I'm presenting, Vancouver, Calgary play, but say win 2/3 of their games, which would be difficult for how those teams have been going. But it's not completely, I don't think you can completely write that off as being impossible, especially if Vancouver wins tonight and Calgary wins tomorrow.
Fair enough. I'm fired up too. I was fired up about a lot of things today, but fired up for Nate Dogg. The big dog in the house. Been great to have him around. And I'm fired up. This weekend is a long time coming at the old Casa de Milne. My mother-in-law's house she built on our yard is finished. She has possession. It's move-in day tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And it's happening.
What if it's snowing really heavily?
It better not be her. I'm gonna be pissed.
But are you just basically you have to walk some furniture across a yard?
Well, see, she's been living in our basement.
Okay.
While it's been being built.
Okay.
So she doesn't, like, the furniture that was in there was ours. The mattress in there was ours.
So where's her stuff right now?
It's in these pods. Storage pods.
In the yard?
That are on our property.
Oh,
that are
wow.
right in front of the doors now. So it's not hard.
It's not a taxing.
It's just the little things. Like, this is a brand new empty house.
Right.
Right? It's like a
and it doesn't have to be done in one day.
Well, we only have the helpers for one day tomorrow.
Oh, so you do have helpers coming.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's, my wife's, no, I asked him. He said he's got better things
You know
to
what?
do.
I appreciate you didn't ask me.
I don't know.
It really means a lot to me.
Reid, I don't want to see you on the other end of a dresser.
Thank you.
You're
It's
welcome.
the advantage to being small, old, and weak.
Sorry, but it's
Get
the
out
truth.
of moving, everybody.
So we've been doing stuff during the week, moving her little things in and out, but the big guns are showing up tomorrow and we're gonna get her done. But it's the little things, as you know, mounting the TV on the wall.
Oh, right.
That stuff takes time. But we're looking to get most of it done. Nate Dogg says he's coming out to help. Woof, woof.
I wonder if it's frustrating for people who are like 6'4" and in pretty good shape. It's just, he'll help move. I'll ask Dan to help move. It's just like, no.
Yeah, I'd rather try by myself.
Yeah.
No, you know what? It's not that it's been at all a bad experience having her live in our house. It's been great. She gets to be there with our kids, her grandchildren. She's awesome help. She, it's been very good, but she probably, she needs her own space too.
Oh yeah, she'll have her own house.
Right? It'd be nice for her to have her own
Does she have
spot.
indoor plumbing in the house?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, power and electricity as well?
It's all
You
good.
guys been all out.
It's a shack. It's great.
How
Looking
many
forward to
levels?
it. Just one. It's technically called a garden suite.
But it's a bungalow, basically.
Yeah, I think it's just under 1,200 square feet.
Oh, nice.
Got a nice kitchen, dining room, living room, bedroom, couple bath. Like it's a really cool place.
Do you think your daughters will ever want to go stay there?
They haven't left there all week since she got
they've
possession.
been in the empty house.
Well, they just go over there and help Grandma put away her things.
Oh, so she's putting away some little things.
little things.
Right, okay.
But my oldest daughter, she loves to bake.
Oh, nice.
And Grandma's got this brand new, sweet, shiny kitchen with a huge island.
Oh, nice.
That Grace has already said, this is my baking spot.
And Grandma was like, actually.
No, Grandma's only got one rule in the house.
Get out of my kitchen, Jablonski. Is Kid Jablonski bake there? Oh, no.
Who
let you in, Jablonski? Put the flour down. But I'm just following the recipe. That's too much sugar, Jablonski. Too much.
I can hear it now. There's only one rule at Grandma's house. Do you know what it is?
No Jablonski.
No. Take a guess.
No swearing.
They're way too young to even have that as a thought.
Oh, okay.
Koob, what's your guess?
No staying up late?
No, that's definitely allowed.
Come on,
That's
Koob.
definitely allowed.
Were you like
no fighting?
Oh, well, yeah.
If you fight or if you're starting to argue,
you got to go.
The instigator gets kicked out and sent back to the main house.
Oh, wow. That's an amazing
I love
rule.
that. That's good.
Well,
That's
yeah,
good to do.
Jablonski will not.
Jablonski's not even gonna. He's not even gonna get the touchpad code. He's out. I don't care if it's minus 20.
Jablonski.
He's out.
Go wait outside, Jablonski. But it's minus 30. Shut up. You're arguing.
See, Nate, dog. This is how it happens.
This is how
the
it
magic.
happens.
Yeah, you just couple idiots
Come
talking,
up with a bit
you know.
and milk it to death. Learn that from watching Letterman.
Yeah, and the morning show.
Yeah, that's a good point. At the morning show.
Finishing up a heater.
Can't take it anymore.
All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Crew Resort and Casino inbox. River Crew Resort and Casino featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. We're going to do our words of the day and wrap up the week when we get back.
Six games around the NHL. Brad Marchand debuts for the Panthers in Florida and Utah are locked at zeros at the end of 20. Montreal's Josh Anderson and Carolina's Jackson Blake have found the back of the net, making it 1-1 near the end of the first. Elsewhere, Vancouver leads Columbus 3-0. That one's also nearing the end of the first frame. Game 1 of the Oil Kings Raiders series goes down from Prince Albert on a game with 7 WHL playoff games, including the Winterhawks and Cougars butting heads while the Giants clash with the Chiefs. Toronto takes on Charlotte with the Hornets star LaMelo Ball missing the rest of the season to undergo 2 minor procedures to fix his lingering ankle and wrist injuries. Just one game in the NBA is live right now. Detroit holds Cleveland 31-26, entering the second before Milwaukee hosts New York as the Knicks challenge the Bucks, while Phoenix meets the Timberwolves. Sweet 16 action continues. 6th seed Ole Miss leads 2nd seed Michigan State 22-14 just halfway through the first half. In baseball, 2 games are underway. The Jays and Orioles are scoreless at the bottom of the second, while the Pirates and Marlins have no score entering the third. The final segment of the week here on the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back after a brief break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
All right, hope your Friday's going well. Hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. We're in the Canadian Brewhouse studio here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. I know it might be hard to think about golf today, but tell you what, get ready for the season. Sharpen your skills before the courses open. At the Canadian Ice House, our TrackMan golf simulators open. Real golf action in downtown Edmonton. Visit us in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for more info. There was what was it? The driving range was open a few days ago.
Yeah.
One in St. Albert, people were texting me about. Well, I guess it could still be open today. I'm not sure anybody's using it today. Apparently, it's legit gross out though, driving and stuff. So do take your time. I guess one of my cousins went for a bit of a slide today. It is yucky. So be safe, be smart out there. Remember that few minutes delay is better than getting into a crash or causing some issues on the roads. But man, it's like every time we look out the window, it's like, oh, it's snowing harder than it was an hour ago. And then we look out again, it's like, oh, it's actually snowing harder than it was. Like we look out behind the building.
It's a beautiful view.
Yeah, beautiful view. But there's like a couple of white cars. And it's just now looks like they're bigger white cars because they're totally covered in snow. It's bad, baby.
I had an email sent in to me today from Marcus.
Okay.
Marcus, good afternoon, Jay. I just happened to be scrolling through Facebook and found this page. So this page, and he also says, I met Reid about 10 days ago when you were on holidays, when I was. We had a short conversation, but I enjoyed talking to him. You spoke about Aussie rules football.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, of course.
He has sent in a list of 100 words with definitions.
Well, you're loaded up.
I'm loaded.
Because you come up with your own, don't you? Or does your mom come up with some?
I get help sometimes, yeah. But no, this is fantastic. But I already had a word of the day. But I'm going to lean on his for the second word of the day.
Brian says, guys, it's pretty scary when opposition goaltenders are standing on their heads and ours are collapsing. Well, the Oilers goaltending, especially last 6 to 7 weeks, has been subpar. Both goalies. I think Stuart Skinner gets crapped on a little more because he is the number one. Pickard has had a couple of rough nights as well. I don't know if all opposition goaltenders are standing on their heads. I think sometimes the Oilers don't get the shot quality that you would like. But yeah, there have been too many nights where the other goaltender has been at least good and the Oilers goaltending has been subpar or maybe even poor some nights. Again, that's one thing going into the playoffs that is going to have to change. I mean, I think there are several players, not just the goaltenders, that you're kind of saying like, well, where are they? Where's the guy we know?
Well,
now, some of it might be health related with Ekholm.
It's somewhere, and if they can get it together and put together a run,
yeah,
it's all about timing. And this comes in from Fraser in the River Cree inbox. Did you guys ever hear what exactly Draisaitl's injury was?
Well, I think Tom said hamstring, has he not?
Hamstring?
I think Tom's reported that, yeah.
Just a slight tweak? Because, yeah, you really got to... You don't want to see Leon Draisaitl clenching his hamstring coming off the ice if he does play tomorrow night.
Yeah. But we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me to see Draisaitl play. I don't expect McDavid to play. And like I said, I really don't know with Ekholm. I guess we see if he's on the ice for the morning skate. Because he was supposed to... We thought he was going to play yesterday, and it's all like, oh, it's a maintenance day. Oh, on a game day. Okay, that's not good.
What if it is just maintenance, and they're
just load managing him?
Yeah.
They're just thinking, okay, it's back to back. But he traveled though, didn't he? Why travel him? Like, why not just say, okay, don't even come on the trip. You're not going to play.
True. Good point. Bonus points. Yeah, I don't know. Should we get to this word of the day?
Let's do them.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
So I'm going to go to the list.
Find one?
I'm going to go to the list of that Marcus sent in.
So we're doing. You're taking a guest suggestion first for word of the day. Okay?
Yeah, 1 of 100.
How hard are they? They're probably extremely difficult.
They're not.
Now he's Australian. Are they all Aussie slang?
I don't think so. I don't think we're getting hen weighed.
Barbie.
Keith Abbin. Okay, the first word of the day, pendiculation.
Oh, come on.
Pendiculation.
Pendiculation. Well, I'll go with, I think I just got to go with the obvious spellings if I'm not sure. Pendiculation. 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 Awful.
Should I give you a
These
second
always
chance?
ruin my day. Now I got to sit in this morass of failure for the entire weekend.
Maybe some pendiculation will help. Pandiculation.
Oh, pandiculation. Okay. Pandiculation. So at first I was thinking if it was pendiculation, it might have something to do with a back and forth, to and fro movement, like a pendulum. But it's pandiculation. So this makes me think of pan generally means sort of like all encompassing or like a round, right? So I will say this is something that pediculation could be anything. I will say this has to do with somebody who is knowledgeable in several languages. Well, I'm trying to figure it out here. Like, I know they sound stupid when they're wrong.
Pendiculation, stretching oneself and yawning.
Oh, really?
Yawning?
Stretching oneself and yawning. Okay.
Well, that's what I did when I said the word. I went like this.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I'm sorry.
Second word of the day.
Hey, Andy knew what it was.
Peregmenon.
Peregmenon?
Hang on. Peregmenon.
Can you say it again?
Peregmenon.
Menon?
Menon. Peregmenon.
All right. Well, I'm just take a stab at it. Pyregminon.
Boo! You suck.
Like
Peregmenon.
No.
So I was only off by a couple letters. For some reason, I went PY instead of PA or PE, and then Minon, I had MI. So peregmenon.
It's a noun.
Yeah,
do you want me to use it in a sentence?
Sure.
His speech relied on peregmenon to drive the point home, repeating fighting fights and building buildings to emphasize the weight of his words.
I will say using large and emphatic gestures while you're talking. There's a big failure again.
The juxtaposition of words that have a common root.
Fantastic.
The juxtaposition of words that have a common root.
Yeah, man.
Is this the one you came up with?
No. Yes, yes, it is.
Oh, this is the one you came up.
Yeah.
So what does that even mean? The juxtaposition of words that have a common root. What's an example?
Let's find out.
Make it so, number one.
I don't even... So I know what a juxtaposition is.
So happiness makes other happy too. Society is the socialization of the unsociable. These are definitions of the word.
So it's like using a similar word with a different meaning twice in a row. So it would be like we must...
Repetition. Repetition of words that have the same root.
Okay.
Fighting fights.
Oh,
building buildings.
That's the example. Okay. Wow. Well, I certainly learned something today.
Really took a turn.
I already forgot what pendiculation means. Oh, that's stretching out or yawning.
Maybe tomorrow.
I'm going to have to stretch out and yawn after this show.
Maybe tomorrow morning you can wake up and pendiculate.
Well, tomorrow morning I can wake up and watch Hello Hockey with Tom and Belzy. It's on the stream here at Edmonton Sports Talk, 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then at 7 p.m., Tom and Hernan with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show leading into the 8 o'clock Battle of Alberta at Rogers Place. Nathaniel, thanks for hanging out with us. All the best going to school.
Nate, no.
On behalf of Zachary Kubusch and Jason Milne, I'm Reid. Thanks for checking out the show.